2 years since the last time we met, and my have things changed. Now when we reconvene, we won't take the little things for granted. Never again will we let the beauty of a snow-covered mountain pass us by. Nor will we ever be more grateful to take flight, both in air and on the course. The training, the effort, the work to get here has never tasted so sweet. As the nation's best once again descend upon this city that is known for both miracles and domination. 42 years ago, we were asked if we believe in miracles. The answer now, as it was then, is a resounding yes. The miracle now is not the victory, but the experience. In a truly one-of-a-kind event, these young people, our next generation, will make memories that will last a lifetime. So let's sit back, let's relax, and let's enjoy what is not only a national championship, but maybe more importantly, a celebration in a natural cathedral that unites us all. This is the place. These are our heroes. And this is the 2022 USCSA National Championships.
T-minus 10, 9, 8.
The clock is operating. We're underway.
Tranquility Base here. Endeavor, go at throttle up.
It's feeling the rainbow in my head when I'm going boarding. Oh, it's feeling the rainbow in my head when I'm going boarding. What makes the gravity leave my body?
The top athletes in the country, and it's going to be a great morning of racing.
Indeed it is. We have got 138 of the college's finest GS racers here today. We'll have two runs. We'll bring you live coverage of both of those runs. It's run number one here this morning, and let's take a look at some of our, first let's thank our sponsors and tell you that today's race is brought to you by Atomic Skis, also by our friends at Patagonia. I'd like to thank our friends at Swix Wax and Saga Outerwear, along with our friends at Snowfolio. Let's take a look at the course conditions here today at Right Face Mountain. 23 degrees outside, a little chilly. It's been warm here in Lake Placid the last couple of days. but it got cold last night, firmed things up here on the mountain. 11 miles an hour out of the west, the winds are coming, pressure 30 and rising, so it looks like we had a windy, blustery, and cloudy morning here at Whiteface, but the sun is breaking through. We're starting to see patches of the sky, and it looks like we might turn into a really nice afternoon here in New York. Cloudy skies, the humidity right at 70%. A hard-packed surface groomed out here by this fantastic NICEF crew here at Whiteface Mountain. And it looks like Coach, is that Colgate's Coach Enders?
Yeah, Todd Enders.
Todd Enders sets the course today here in run number 1. 44 gates, 41 direction changes, and certainly the stoke factor here for the first race of this 2022 USCSA National Championships is at the 12. Elon, you've had an opportunity to look through some of the regional championship results here over the last couple of weeks. Talk about who you like today.
Well, you got to really like Rocky Mountain College's Hilda Sato. She's a rookie here at national championships, but you also have to be looking at the defending national champion from 2 years ago, 16 Picard, same school, Rocky Mountain College. But then later on down the line, you've got to keep your eye on the 2019 champion out of, got to make sure I get this right, Sierra Nevada University. That would be Michelle Moreau. So that is, I think those three are going to be big names. Also keep your eye out on Caroline Rettenbacher out of Castleton, as well as Lindsay Crowell out of Hobart Williams Smith. A lot of great racers, 138 athletes to take the course here this afternoon, boss.
Sit back and relax. We have got an entire week of championship ski racing here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Of course, today it is the ladies giant slalom. We'll be back tomorrow for the men's giant slalom. Then it's on to the slalom for the ladies on Thursday. The men will take the slalom course on Friday, and then back for Super Saturday here for the dual panel slalom for both ladies and men on Saturday. So it's championship week here. The USCSA always gathering once a year at this time for their national championships, and we're back at it again as well as our forerunners are getting ready to start the race. Last year, no championships, and it was tough on all of the colleges. But this year, we have come back with a vengeance. 130-plus colleges represented here today in the USCSA National Championships. 548 athletes registered. It's one of our best years that we've had, and what a recovery from zero ski racing, zero competition, to something this big that fast.
Absolutely. You look at the USCSA National Championships, and this is the Olympics to some of these athletes. It's a chance to come to a very special venue, a historic venue. The name Ingmar Stenmark is just absolutely dripping all over this course. His domination in 1980, and a chance to come here, ski on the same track, the same run that so many historic names have been able to ski on, not just Ingmar Stenmark, but you talk about USCSA greats, Paul Rettenberger, of course, Andraz Reich-Pogledich. A lot of great names have skied on this course, and you've got some names that are going to be adding their names to that legacy here today.
2 Olympic Games, 1932 and 1980 here in Lake Placid. Of course, as you mentioned, Ingmar Stenmark winning the giant slalom right here at this very location. They have changed the name to the Andrew Weibrecht Finish Arena. Of course, Andrew, one of the great skiers from Lake Placid, Olympic medalist and a true hero here in upstate New York. And an incredible, Lake Placid has never been more on fire. They are under a renovation in this community like we have never seen before. Last night, during the opening ceremonies here for this 2022 USCSA Championship, we were at the new Mount Hovenberg, Van Hovenberg Nordic Center, and have you ever seen anything like that?
Honestly, boss, no. It's such a nice facility. Encourage all of our fans to go check out some Nordic racing at some point this week, because that truly is a facility second to none. And you're right, Lake Placid is kind of turning back the clock to 1980 as they get ready to welcome the world once again at the World University Games next winter.
Well, they tell us that they're going to be putting up a new video matrix board right here in front of us at the Andrew Weibrecht Finished Arena, and just everything on fire. A complete renovation to Herb Brooks Arena and the City Conference Center here in downtown Lake Placid. Mount Van Hovenberg is just something like out of a film. It's incredible. A new facility over there as well, and huge renovations, massive renovations here at Whiteface Mountain, including an entirely new snowmaking system, brand new snowcats and winch cats, and you can just tell that this community has made an incredible commitment to winter sports. They want it to go on forever, and just with the memories that have been created in this town over the last 75 to 100 years in winter snow sports, to now have a new breath of life into this place is truly incredible.
You know, boss, I've never driven into a town before that feels so much like its dedication, its identity. Everything is around those 5 rings, the Olympic rings. They're all over the town, and it truly is the definition of an eternal Olympic village here at Lake Placid.
Sit back and relax, folks. We are off to a great start here as the sun comes out here in beautiful upstate New York. It's cloudy and cold, blustery this morning. We got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow that came down last night. Very warm in Lake Placid, unseasonably warm yesterday and the day before yesterday. Temperatures up in the high 40s and lower 50s, but now back to a normal Lake Placid weather here, and we're going to be in for a great race. What a fast track. Even though we had a little bit of snow on the top of it, it almost needed it as we were out here yesterday for setup, and I mean, it was a pool table up here, especially on Draper's Drop.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about this track, it is kind of the opposite of what the world saw at Beijing this last winter. This one does favor the gliders. There's a big gliding section that kind of leads up to the drop that's kind of being shown on our screen right now. But before you hit that, it's not very steep. It's going to be all about gaining speed as soon as you can and holding that speed to kind of crest over that Draper's Drop right in front of us.
3 main sections here in this giant slalom run. Of course, they come out of the start blocks high atop the mountain here. It steeps in, and you really pick up speed quickly. You've got to manage that speed, but you cannot scrape too much because in the middle part of this, before they get to Draper's Drop, there's a flat area, and you've got to be carrying the speed through that flat area. That is the place I think that we're going to see this race get won or lost.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's been proven historically. Remember, 2018, that's where Andrei Zarkpoglovich ran into his trouble in the slalom. That's where Paul Reckberger just poured on the gas coming into the finish before he came over Draper's Drop to win that national championship. So historically, you're absolutely right. That spot right before Draper's Drop is where this race is going to be won or lost.
You can take a look on your screen right now as we send you our high shot. That is the center section of the course, and this is where they'll need to be carrying maximum speed after the top third and the steeps of the top third. They cannot lose speed, and then of course once they hit the drop, then it's all downhill from there. One of the steepest sections of the course into the last 10 or 12 gates. A big course here today, 44 gates, 41 direction changes, and you can bet there's going to be some burning legs here at the bottom of the finish corral today.
Oh, absolutely. And if you look, Coach Enders has set the set directly down the fall line. And for those of you that are not familiar with ski jargon, the fall line would be as if you were to take a ball and roll it down the hill. The direction that ball goes is the fall line. And you see the gates are set right down the fall line, so it's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and it's going to be exhausting to get to the finish line.
Our forerunners now coming down. There'll be 2 or 3 forerunners chosen. They are the ones that get to check out the course. Any last-minute information that needs to be radioed to the crew or to the teams or to the start box, that's what the forerunners can do. Always an honor to be chosen as a forerunner for a national championship. Sometimes we'll use some of the younger kids that ultimately end up at this national championship competing instead of forerunning.
Yeah, absolutely, and you get a chance to kind of see what kind of sets these coaches are going to put forward and what you can prepare for later on in your career when you are granted with the privilege to compete at the USCSA National Championships.
Our first racer ready to come down, it'll be Rachel Meyer from the University of Nevada in Reno. She'll be followed by Brooke Moran from Colgate. Then it's Catherine DeSocio from University of Virginia, Sierra Nevada's Connor Criswell, and University of Canada, or that's UCB. Is Paige McGarry will be in the 5th slot. Always tough to come down first, Elin. You know, the nerves up in the start shack.
Yeah.
You don't have any information as to what the course looks like. Of course, they've had an opportunity to come out early this morning and slip the course. That means that they travel slowly. They're not allowed to ski at speed, but they're traveling slowly through the entire course so they can see the gates. They can visualize where they need to make those big turns, especially the heavy-booted turns, but they're not allowed to practice on the course. So you're coming out of the box first. You really have just had that slip opportunity, and you know that your knees are knocking just a bit as you get ready to go.
Absolutely, and Rachel Meyer's job is going to be, of course, put in the best run she can, give herself the best opportunity. But as soon as she gets down to the bottom, she's going to be looking for her coach, Maximilian Engloff, and she's going to be finding the race radio and radioing back up to her teammates what the course is really like at high speed, whether you can go more aggressive than what they anticipated. Is there any spots that surprised her? Something like that. So it really is a team competition in this, and the unique thing about USCSA is not only are we competing for individual national championships, we've got the team competition as well.
Well, that is what USCSA is all about. Of course, ski racing is an individual sport, and that you do it one runner at a time. But here at the USCSA, we add the top times together, and we create a team competition, and that team competition is, I think, just as important to these athletes as the individual competitions.
Absolutely.
Rachel Meyer wearing bib number 1. She is on course from the University of Nevada at Reno. We'll see her come into the center section shortly. As I said, she'll be followed by Brooke Moran from Colgate. Then it's Catherine DeSocio from the University of Virginia. And we'll see Sierra Nevada's Hunter Clissold, and that is Paige McGarry in the 5th slot from UCB. Boy, we have waited 2 years now for a ski race here at a national championship, and we are finally underway, and we're going to get it underway, and it looks like that Rachel Meyer, here she comes right here in bib number 1. Good center section for Meyer, and now we'll see Meyer come down the head wall here at Draper's Drop.
26:19 at the first intermediate time. Rachel Meyer is a public health and pre-physician assistant major out of Incline Village, Nevada.
That's a nice place. Have you been to Incline Village?
I've actually never had the honor of going to Incline Village.
That's top shelf, and a good run here, a good start as Rachel Meyer hits the stripe. Her time, 1:17.64. And the great thing about being the first racer out of the box is you're number 1 on the leaderboard. So currently in the lead, it is Rachel Meyer from Nevada, Reno, as she makes her way through the finish corral, waving to mom and dad out there. And we hope all moms and dads, nanas and papas down in Florida, a lot of folks that can't make it to the ski hill, tuning into the broadcast today, and we welcome you. We're glad you're with us today. So a good run for Rachel Meyer. She'll be back this afternoon for run number 2. Remember, in Alpine GS Racing, it's 2 runs. They add the 2 times together, and the lowest combined time for those 2 runs wins. Remember, if you don't make it down or you do not finish run number 1, you don't get to participate in run number 2. So, and it looks like that is what has happened to Colgate's Brooke Moran, as she has fallen down here in the upper section here of this GS course, and that's a tough break for Brooke Moran. She will be a DNF and will not be back later this afternoon for run number 2, although we've seen her on Thursday for the women's slalom.
Yeah, and that looks like we've got a bit of a course hold as Catherine Descasio out of Virginia is still sitting in that start box. Not a very comfortable place to be when you're waiting to kind of charge down that hill.
We'll get some information here from the top of the hill. We hope that Brooke Moran is okay up there from Colgate. We've not seen her come down yet, but we'll let you know as we get that information here. Catherine DeCiciolo from the University of Virginia. She will be next.
Really quick, want to give Brooke Moran a shout out. She is a neuroscience major out of Greenwich, Connecticut. She skis at Okemo, and this is her first national championships. And when asked what famous person, past or present, she would like to invite to dinner, she said, Tyler Moran, former Colgate ski team legend.
He is a legend at Colgate. There's no doubt about it. That's a tough break for Brooke, but she will be back on Thursday for the ladies' slalom. Next up, it is Catherine DeCiciolo. I think I got that right. Catherine DeCiciolo from the University of Virginia. You know, the great thing about take number 1 is that you'll get all the names wrong, but then they come into words tonight, and then they'll tell you exactly how to pronounce it correctly. But I think DeCiciolo is correct.
I think you might be right. And just kind of touching up on the team competition, this is a really important day for Super Saturday because in the dual panel slalom, when we have the bracket set up, this is the team standings is how they will seed those brackets. So this is a very important day that will carry weight later on in the week.
As we are waiting for Catherine DeCiciolo from UVA, she'll be followed by Hunter Clissold from Sierra Nevada, Paige McGarry from UCB, and then it's Camilla Gutowski from Hobart Williams Smith, Megan Gillis from Lafayette College, Heather Graham from the United States Military Academy, and Natalia DeRogi from CU coming up in the 10th slot. 138 starts. It's our largest ladies field we've had in USCSA championship history.
And that is just kind of a testament to how great this league is and how much these kids feel camaraderie and welcome. Once they enter this league, they're telling their friends about it. It's like, hey, come on out. They take any skill level. It's a lot of fun. Come on out, join us, have some great times on the mountain.
Sissy Lolo now on course. She's wearing bib number 3. Successfully through the top section now. Should be moving into the center section momentarily. We'll see how Catherine looks. She'll be wearing bib number 3 as she comes into your picture now.
When Catherine was asked what famous person, past or present, they would like to invite to dinner, you gotta love this answer. She said, as a nationally ranked collegiate skier, I'm my own famous figure and would treat myself to a fancy sushi dinner because I'm the best skier on the mountain.
Well, of course she is. She has all the NAR points to prove it as well. And here she comes through the center section. So a good top half for the Sisiolo. And now over the head wall into Draper's Drop. This is a tough place. They come from really having good control of the skis to almost going so fast that they lose control. And a little late here through the gates comes Catherine Sisiolo. But she's going to, she spots the finish line and now making her way to the final 3 gates. And she's going to come back for a second run here this afternoon. So a successful run number 1 for Catherine Sisiolo from the University of Virginia, 124.40. And she'll be back later on this afternoon for run number 2. Now it's Honor Klissel from Sierra Nevada University, and she's got a good run going here. First intermediate split, and she is really cranking here at the bottom of the run. And we'll switch in here to the lower camera as Honor Klissel from Sierra Nevada, and she has just blown the times away here, a 104.09. That is the fastest of the day, and I can just tell by the speed coming down the head wall, that's somebody to look to beat here in run number 1.
Absolutely. Sierra Nevada University, one of the big 2 colleges when it comes to alpine racing, coached by Mihaela Kosi. So Sierra Nevada University and Rocky Mountain College, those are going to be the ones that you keep your eye on throughout this whole competition on the alpine portion.
And it looks like Paige McGarry from UCB has had a problem. She has stopped here in the middle section, as we can see, and either she has lost a piece of equipment or has missed a gate, but it looks like that's going to be the end of the run here. And I can't see real clearly. We're going to have to see if that's Megan Gill. No, check that. That's Paige McGarry from UCB, and she has skied off course, so that's going to be the end of the day for Paige. Camilla Glakowski now. Check that. Megan Gillis from Lafayette College wearing bib number 7. She's on course. She'll be followed by Heather Graham, who's now dropped in from the start shack. And down the head wall comes Megan Gillis.
Gillis out of Branford, skis at Waterville Valley, a government and law and English literature major out of Lafayette.
Got a little behind halfway down the head wall, been able to recover though, and a good finish here at the bottom across the stripe successfully. It's Megan Gillis from Lafayette in bib number 7, the second fastest time here of the morning at 108.38. But we can't say enough about the Honor Klissel from Sierra Nevada and a 104.09, a lightning fast run here, and certainly she'll be one of the times to look at to beat here in run number 1. Don't forget, we take the top 30 racers here by time here in run number 1. We reverse their order. We call that the flip in alpine ski racing, and that's the order they'll come down in run number 2. Meanwhile, Heather Graham from the United States Military Academy successfully through the center section, and over here onto Draper's Drop comes Graham.
Graham, as you mentioned, out of United States Military Academy. She's looking pretty good here. Nice tight line as she comes past that blue gate and is looking to definitely finish and get that second run.
3 gates to go now for Heather Graham. She was 5th at the split shack. She'll have to pour it on, and she hits the stripe in 5th place, 128.48 from the United States Military Academy. A good run for Heather Graham. Here is Natalia DeRogi from CU. And 3rd fastest at the split shack now, and she is flying down the Draper's Drop. Had to scrape some speed there at one of the top gates. She'll try to pick that up. You know, once you scrape it, it is hard to get it back here in this DS run. But no problems navigating the final 3 gates, and across the finish line, it's Natalia DeRogi with a time of 1:15.11. That's third fastest here in the morning, so a good first run for Natalia. Maria Cavallero from Northeastern University in bib number 11. She is now on course, and she'll be followed by the one to watch, Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain College. She'll be skiing in the 12th position. Elin, you know she is going to be a speed demon here. Sato has certainly got a target on her back this morning.
Yeah, she absolutely ruled the West, which is, for those of you not familiar with USCSA jargon, that is the SEC of the USCSA Alpine division. So the fact that she ruled the West so well, she's definitely one to watch here at the National Championships.
Maria Cavallero from Northeastern University, fourth fastest at the first split shack, now picking it up third fastest at the second split shack. She's got a good run, wearing bib number 11 through the center section, now over the head wall, into the final 10 gates. Here comes Maria Cavallero from Northeastern University.
Maria, favorite home mountain is Gunstock. This is her first national championship, and she's coached by Katie Campbell.
2 gates to go for Maria. And no problem, and a good first run for Cavallero from Northeastern, 1:12.40. Good enough for third fastest here in the morning session of run number 1. You are watching the 2022 USCSA National Championships here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hog and Elin Olive bringing you the call here from Whiteface Mountain in upstate New York. Meanwhile, back to live action. Camelia Kuklowski from Hobart Williams Smith now onto the head wall, and she skied wide, and that's going to be the end of the day. She could not get that right boot into the snow. It slipped out, and she went on a wild ride here. She slides down the head wall, so a tough break for Kuklowski from Hobart Williams Smith. Meanwhile, Hilda Sato now on course from Rocky Mountain College. The Battling Bears from Billings, Montana. They will be watching Hilda Sato closely, as Sato now successfully out of the top section through the middle, and over the head wall comes Sato.
Yeah, you can just see the speed that she's pouring on as she comes down. Draper's drop, nice tight line, directing the ski from the front of the boot, and that is going to be key on such a windy course.
What a good run she's got going. Here is Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain College, and she blows the time away. 1:02.18 for Hilda Sato. Sato in the lead by 2 seconds. What an incredible run from Rocky Mountain College's Hilda Sato, and we knew that was going to happen. She's had a target on her back since she started skiing at Rocky Mountain College, and boy, she just brought the heat here in run number 1.
And that is another one of Jerry Wolf's disciples who just knows how to get it done. It was funny, we talked with Coach Wolf before the competition, and you asked him if they're ready to go. He says they know what to do, and that's exactly was proved by Hilda Sato.
Boy, they got it done. There's no question about that. They just got it done with Hilda Sato. And Hilda Sato is leading the whole place right now with a 1:02.18. Meanwhile, Katie Young now from St. Olaf. She is coming down the head wall into the finish corral, and across the stripe it's Young. The time of 1:12.34. That's fourth fastest here. So our top 5 look like this. It's Maria Cavallero in 5th, Katie Young in 4th, Megan Gillis in 3rd, Honor Clissold in 2nd, and your leader from Billings, Montana, and the Battling Bears, it's Hilda Sato. Now down the head wall, we see Anna McDermott from the University of Massachusetts. The Zoo in Amherst, 2 gates to go for McDermott, and a good run here. Third fastest of the morning session for Anna McDermott, 1:07.66. She'll be happy with that first run. She'll be back now for run number 2 later on this afternoon, but a good start for McDermott from UMass.
McDermott is out of Elk Mountain, Wilmington, Delaware. This is her first national championship biology major.
Here comes Taylor Watkins from the College of Idaho. The Yotes out of Caldwell. Ron Bonneau, the famous ski coach, now retired from the College of Idaho, but still on the property, I might add. He can't stay away from ski racing, so he is here today, although he's not coaching in his official capacity. But here is one of the Yotes. It's Taylor Watkins, and Taylor laying down a good first run at 1:08.27. It's good enough for 4th place for Taylor Watkins, and Watkins will be happy with that as she'll be back here for run number 2 later on this afternoon. You know it's a big day when Mark is in my face now. I haven't seen that face in a long time. We're going to talk more about that This guy is important in the history of USCSA, and he is on the property as well. Meanwhile, back to live action. It's Lena Shonley from Castleton, wearing bib number 16, 4 gates to go. She drives towards the finish line. Here comes Lena Shonley, and Shonley across the line in the 3rd fastest time of the day. What a great first run for Lena Shonley from Castleton. 104.46. That puts her in the 3rd position here. So a big shakeup in the top 5. It's Watkins, McDermott, Shonley now in 3rd. Hanan Glissold in 2nd, but still Hilda Sato the time to beat.
Shonley, that's not a surprise at all. She was 2nd at the GS at the 22 Eastern Regional.
Boy, it is fast and furious coming down the hill now. Amelia Stocking from Colorado State University in Fort Collins, 11th fastest at the split shack, now making her way down Draper's Drop. And it is a big transition as they go from that flat section that you can see they come over the head wall, and it is just all of a sudden time to race again. Like the speed doubles real quick, and these girls are doing a great job in being able to make that transition. Just like Amelia Stocking from CSU across the line in 116.94. So a good first run for Stocking. Lauren Abdow now from Babson, wearing bib number 18 on course. She'll be followed by Ainsley Kirk from Northern Michigan University in bib 19, both on course. Here on the head wall, here comes Lauren Abdow.
Abdow is a bit of a dark horse. She is the East champion in this event.
Here comes Abdow, a good tuck and a good final 3 gates for Abdow, carrying big speed. 4th fastest here in the morning session for Lauren Abdow in bib 18 at a 105.48. She'll be happy with that. Ainsley Kirk now from Northern Michigan University, wearing bib number 19. She'll be making her way into Draper's Drop momentarily, followed by Courtney Pingree from SJCM. That is St. Joseph's College of Maine in their first appearance here in the National Championships. Meanwhile, here comes Ainsley Kirk.
Kirk, the 2022 Midwest GS silver medalist out of Marquette Mountain. She's a cyber defense and information assurance major.
Final gate here for Ainsley Kirk and Kirk from NMU across the line in a 106.53. That's good enough for top 5. What a great first run here for Ainsley Kirk out of Northern Michigan University. And when she's done being Jason Bourne, she's going to be a professional ski racer, that's for sure. And a great first run for Ainsley Kirk. Courtney Pingree now from St. Joe's College of Maine, through the center section, now over the head wall, and now on to Draper's Drop.
Pingree, a sports management major out of Marblehead, Massachusetts. And when asked what's next for her, she said traveling the world.
Courtney Pingree, St. Joseph's College of Maine, safely in the finish corral with a 109.48. That's 9th fastest. So a top 10 finish here so far. Still a lot of racers to come. 138 to be exact. The total first start here for the ladies. The biggest field we've ever had in the national championship in the women's GS. Lydia Kelleher now from the University of Connecticut. The Huskies always well represented here at national championships. And Kelleher, 7th fastest at the split shack. 5 gates to go for Kelleher from UConn.
Lydia was asked if she could live anywhere. It'd be Santa's Village or anywhere in the Alps or New Zealand.
I wouldn't mind living in Santa's Village. 106.99. That's 6th fastest for Lydia Kelleher. Santa will be very, very happy with that first run. She wants to live in Santa's Village, and that's important to her. And so she keeps skiing like that, she'll be able to do it, no doubt. Maggie Sullivan now from Syracuse University. 15th fastest at the split shack, now pouring it on. 12th fastest at the second split shack. A good center section for Sullivan. And here she comes down the drop. It's Maggie Sullivan from Syracuse University.
Finance and business analytics major from St. Albans, Vermont. This is her first national championship.
And she looks like she knows what she's doing. She carries good speed here into the final 3 gates, into the tuck and across the stripe. It's Maggie Sullivan from Syracuse University with the 11th fastest time of the morning, 110.42. Now from Brown, it's Margaret Beardsley, wearing bib number 23. 4th fastest at the first split shack. 3rd fastest at the second split shack. Margaret Beardsley from Brown's got a run going, Elin.
Top 5 at the 2022 Eastern Regionals. Would love to live in Salt Lake City, Tahoe, or Bellingham.
Great.
This is both of us familiar with.
Great form here with 3 gates to go. as Margaret Beardsley laying it down from Brown into the tuck and across the line in the third fastest time of the morning. That's a rocket ride for Margaret Beardsley from Brown in bib 23, a 104.34. That moves her into the third fastest position of the morning.
Big run by the lone Brown skier, and that is absolutely lightning coming down Rivers Drop.
She's got to be happy with that. Third fastest here in the morning session. She'll be back and staring at a podium possibility. Boy, what a dark horse it would be for Brown to come in here and sneak onto the podium in the ladies GS. Meanwhile, back to live action from the University of Idaho. It's Hannah Glazer wearing bib number 24, 17th fastest at the split shack. And now from CSS, dropping in from the start shack, it's Ashley Winberg.
Hannah Glazer is a architectural science, communications, and leadership major out of Tangent, Oregon. Loves to ski Mount Bachelor. This is her first national championship.
And across the line safely, it is Hannah Glazer from the University of Idaho. 1:15.93. She'll be back for run number 2 this afternoon. On course, Ashley Weinberg from CSS. That's a new college here in our first appearance in the USCSA National Championships, the College of St. Scholastica. And Winberg now making her way into the final 3 gates.
Winberg, the 2022 Midwest GS gold medalist, so she's definitely got some skills.
And a good finish for Ashley Winberg. The 107.12, that's fast enough for 8th fastest here in the morning session. So a good top 10 first run for Ashley Winberg from the College of St. Scholastica. Now it's Faith Reichert from MESU in their first appearance in this USCSA Ladies Giant Slalom National Championship from Messiah University. It's Faith Reichert, and Faith 15th fastest in the second intermediate shack. Now she makes her way down the head wall, and this is when they really, really get challenged, Keelan. You can tell, it's a fun race, and everything's going great until the final 12 gates, when all of a sudden somebody added 20 miles an hour to the speed factor. But no problems here for Faith Reichert as she successfully navigates her way across the finish line into the corral. 1:11.65 for Reichert from Messiah University. Now it's Chloe Brush from UMass on course.
And boss, we talked about how that last set is straight down the fall line. It's going to definitely be one of those races of attrition where you're going to have to finish strong and finish hard in order to make the line. We've seen some great racing here today already.
We usually have the big bubble at the finish line, and we usually have this enormous USCSA finish. Well, they call it the arc, the balloon. Yes, it's the balloon. And they'll have it tomorrow, and we'll have it for the rest of the racing. But this morning when we got out to the mountain, was it blowing 50 miles an hour out here?
Yeah, it was windy.
So we had a day a few years ago that we put the bubble up, and the wind came, and it blew the bubble across the mountain. And so since then, the Dales on the Midwest Mafia decided that they had to make wind calls, and so we wind called it this morning. So that's why you don't see the big black USCSA blow up across the finish line, but it will return in full duty tomorrow for the men's GS. Don't forget to join us here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. start. We'll bring you 145 of college's best male giant slalom skiers. 2 big runs for you tomorrow. We'll cover them both. And tomorrow afternoon, we will crown the 2022 USCSA Men's National GS Champion. But right now, it is all about the ladies here at Whiteface Mountain on what is turning out to be a nice and, well, maybe even a sunny Tuesday afternoon in the Adirondacks in upstate New York. Lake Placid, the home of, well, everything that's good in winter snow sports, Olympic Games, World University Games, and, of course, this week, the USCSA National Championships. Back to live action is Elizabeth Gamarello from UCB. Gamarello with 2 gates to go, and she's got a great run going, and she punches the stripe in a time of 1:15.47. So from UCB, Elizabeth Gamarello in bib number 29, and she'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon. Castleton's Caroline Rettenbacher now on course wearing bib number 30. She was 8th fastest at the top section, so she had a tough top section, able to pick up a couple of places to 6th fastest in the second intermediate shack. Let's see how she does as she crosses the stripe here for Castleton, and in the 6th position, it'll be Caroline Rettenbacher from Castleton, wearing bib number 30. Of course, this is not Caroline's first rodeo for sure.
No, 5th in 2019 in the GS and 8th at the last national championships in 2020.
Nice to see her back and healthy here. Caroline Rettenbacher rocking it for Castleton in bib number 30. She'll be back for bib run number 2, looking to move up from that 6th slot. Meanwhile, back to live action, Lindsay Crowell from Hobart Williams Smith across the Draper's Drop had to scrape an enormous amount of speed on that 3rd gate, the red gate, a hard left boot turn for her, but now back into action, trying to get the speed back. It's tough to regather that speed once you've scraped it and lost it. She did a pretty good job. Lindsay Crowell from Hobart Williams Smith with a 109.68. Now it's the Husky from the University of Connecticut, Jackie Bayich. I'm sorry, that's Jackie Balch. And Jackie wearing bib number 32, 15 fastest at the second split shack, but a good second section. Now over the head wall into Draper's Drop. 10 gates to go for Jackie Balch.
Jackie wants to live at the North Pole as well, so we've got a couple of future residents of Santa's Village.
Good real estate market up there, no doubt. 4 gates to go for Balch. And here comes Jackie Balch. She hits the strike with a time of 1:10.33, 15 fastest here in the morning session. Now from the Battling Bears in Rocky Mountain College, it's Brigitte Varney from RMC wearing bib 33, 3rd fastest at the split shack. She's got a rocket ride going here as she makes her way across the head wall into the drop. 8 gates to go for Varney.
Brigitte, definitely one of those top skiers in the West. We saw Hilda Sato do a great job. Varney looking to try to get on the podium as well.
No problem here for Brigitte Varney, and Varney comes across with a 2nd fastest time of the day, a 103.74. The Battling Bears out of Billings, Montana, they are bringing the heat as they are now in the top 2 slots here in run number 1. And Madeline Jordan also now on course, and Michelle Murat from Sierra Nevada University, one to watch. She is on course as well. But boy, what a run from Brigitte Varney, and Sato and Varney taking up the top 2 slots. Meanwhile, Madeline Jordan now from St. Joseph's College of Maine in their first USCSA National Championship. Here she comes, Madeline Jordan, and Jordan with 3 gates to go, and Michelle Murat now from Sierra Nevada University on course. Meanwhile, across the stripe, it's Jordan with a 1:13.11, and Michelle Murat now from Sierra Nevada University. She is 2nd fastest in the first split shack, and now she's in the lead in the second split shack. Michelle Murat has got a bomb burner going here as she makes her way across the top. Now down the hill. It's 8 gates to go for Michelle Murat. She's trying to replace Hilda Sato on the top of the scoreboard. Michelle Murat now driving to the finish line. 3 gates to go for Murat. Now Murat across the line, and it's 2nd fastest. 2nd fastest for Michelle Murat. Unbelievable. Hilda Sato at 102.18. Michelle Murat at 102.22. 4/100ths of a second separating the top 2. We've got a battle here.
Absolutely. Michelle Murat, one of the top racers in the USCSA, 2019 national champion in both the GS and the slalom. So she is a big name, a big racer, one of the favorites coming into this event. And we have got that age tale as old as time, SNU versus RMC battle.
4/100ths of a second between the top 2 ladies here, and it is on again. Sierra Nevada University, Rocky Mountain College, they're at it again. It's always a warrior at national championships, and no different this year. This is going to be an exciting afternoon of ski racing. Meanwhile, back to live action, Alexandra Cregan from Northeastern University across the line in a time of 1:15.89. Caroline Burns wearing bib 37 from Lafayette now on course, and just dropping in at the start shack from CU, it's Kaya DeRogie.
Caroline Burns, as you mentioned, out of Lafayette University. Hometown is Egan. Home mountain is Buck Hill, first national championships.
Boy, that Buck Hill cranks out some skiers. There is no doubt about that. Want to give some props to Alexandra Cregan from Northeastern University. 1:15.89 for Cregan, a good first run for her. She'll be back for run number 2 this afternoon. Meanwhile, Caroline Burns across the line, fast and furious here at the bottom of the hill, 116.07 for Burns. And Kaya DeRogie wearing bib 38 from Colorado, from Columbia University. And DeRogie has had some trouble high atop the hill. We're going to check. It appears that DeRogie, let's see here. And yes, it's a DNF for Kaya DeRogie. So a tough break for DeRogie, as she will not be back here for run number 2. You got to make it down, so that's a tough break for Columbia here in the ladies GS. Meanwhile, Sasha Mueller from the College of Idaho. She awaits her first run high atop in the start shack. We've got a short course hold here. Give us an opportunity to go over our top 5. It is Margaret Beardsley in the 5th position from Brown University. Sierra Nevada's Honor Clissold in 4th position. Rocky Mountain's Brigitte Varney in 3rd. Then it's Sierra Nevada's Michelle Murad in 2nd. And still your leader by 4/100ths of a second in an incredible first run from Rocky Mountain College. It's Hilda Sato. I'm looking at it, Elin. I see RMC, SNU, RMC, SNU. Is there anything odd about that?
No, not at all. But the exciting thing is in about 16 racers, we got the reigning national champion from SNU, 16 Picard, who still has not had her say in this thing yet. We have got a long way to go and a crazy race coming our way.
Yeah, it is all about the heat here at National Championships. These are the best ladies skiers in the country, and they all come together, and they bring it here, and they're bringing it already, we can tell. Meanwhile, back to live action from the College of Idaho. Sasha Mueller, the Yote from Caldwell, wearing bib number 39 into the final 2 gates.
Sasha out of Mammoth Lakes, California, and favorite mountain is Mammoth Mountain.
All the USCSA volunteers out again, putting together an incredible race course here. Our friends at NICEF also chipping in. It is really a family affair. It takes a village for one of these things. And it is a great track. I've also got some information here from some of these earlier racers. It is fast and furious, as Sasha Mueller from the College of Idaho crosses the line in 1:11.76. Here's Hannah Petro from Colgate. Hannah wearing bib number 40, flying down the head wall now. 2 gates to go for Petro. Into the tuck and across the line in a 1:08.06. Good enough for 13th position here in run number 1. Remember, Elin, everyone fighting for those top 30 positions. As we take the top 30, we reverse that order here in run number 2, and that's the order they'll come down later on this afternoon.
Yeah, the whole goal is you want to make that top 30 so you can make the flip to give yourself a chance to contend for a top 30 position. You're looking at the podium right now, and it's less than a second really separating everybody from 3 to 1. It's going to be great racing.
Here's Elsie Childress from the University of Nevada at Reno. I saw Elsie at the opening ceremonies last night. I'll tell you a funny story. Her mother and I were swim team. We're on the same swim team when we were in high school together. Of course, she was smart enough to not be a swimmer, where you have to swim back and forth into a pool of nothing for your entire life. And she became a ski racer, and it's great to see her out here today. She has really done a job at University of Nevada, Reno. Elsie has started a ski club for people who have never been skiing before.
Oh, wow.
And so imagine being a college student, and the first time you've ever been on snow skis, you're 21, 22 years old. Elsie has created this program, and it is incredibly popular at the University of Nevada, Reno. So hats off to her. It's great to see people take their ski racing experience and expand it into something that just is a true legacy.
I got to give a shout out to Elsie Childress from my neck of the woods, Garden City, Idaho. I know exactly where that's at.
Well, they ski at Bogus, and they live over there as well. So, anyways, I hope Amy is watching today as we're having fun watching your kid race. Meanwhile, there's Hannah Hubbard from CSU wearing bib number 42, and Hannah with a 1:12.25. That's good enough for 22nd. Elsie had a time, by the way, of 1:18 flat. That's good enough for 33rd. She'll be back for run number 2 this afternoon. Sarah Groden from the United States Military Academy, bib 43 now on course, making her way down the head wall. And she'll be followed by Caroline Heyer from Babson. I met Caroline's mother last night. We'll talk about that in just a second. Here's Sarah Groden from the United States Military Academy and she's safely across in 1:22.56. You want to talk about some commitment? How about the kids from the military academy? Not only do they have to do the schoolwork, not only do they have to do the military work, but imagine carrying a varsity sport on top of that type of workload.
I could not even imagine, and just thank you so much for your service, guys.
Here comes Caroline Heyer from Babson. And Caroline Heyer across the stripe successfully in a 107.01. So a good first run for Caroline, just outside the top 10. That's 11th fastest for Caroline here in run number 1. But Heyer will not be disappointed in that as she'll make her second run later on this afternoon. I met her mother at the opening ceremonies at Mount Van Hovenberg yesterday from New Hampshire. And, we've got a bad crash here. Sliding down the head wall. That's Reagan Ollie from Northern Minnesota University. Reagan caught an edge as she was making it. She's lost equipment as well. So that's going to be the end of the day. And you can see how steep this thing is. You just can't stop. It's hard to arrest. And she's going to try to get her poles in the ground. And now she's come to a stop. So that's one way to come down the Draper's Drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is one way to get down. And that's a tough break for Reagan Ollie. And now on the head wall, here comes Mur Ishimaru from St. Ola. Mur Ishimaru wearing bib number 46. And a good run here for Ishimaru. Ishimaru safely across the stripe in a 107.32. That's good enough for 13th, so she might be taking the top 30 ride here in the afternoon session. We'll have to watch. Still lots of skiers to come down. Whitney Fitzgerald from UVA from Virginia. She'll be next wearing bib 47 and take a force hold, clean things up here on the head wall. But you can see that as soon as they make the transition, there's a big left boot turn that turns its skiers right. And if you don't have a good edge, you are going for a wild ride down Draper's Drop.
And it's got to be one of those ones you've got to be mentally prepared for. That's why it's so important for teammates to communicate with each other. Again, we talked about when Rachel Meyer came down, she probably immediately went to her coach, got on the radio, radioed back up to her teammates and said, hey, that boot turn at the top of Draper's Drop, you're going to have to be in this position to try to help yourself out and give yourself the best chance. So that is why communication, the teamwork of this sport, is so important. Boss, it was really interesting. During the Olympics, they actually had a moment on the broadcast where they showed Michaela Schifrin radioing back up to her teammates, and to hear the conversations that was happening, it's really interesting. They're talking about everything from positioning to snow conditions, everything you can imagine. They don't leave anything to chance.
It's all about information. It is all about knowing what to expect, and it's hard. It's hard to know. It changes so rapidly in ski racing. You know, you can go from racer number 1 to racer number 5 and have a completely different set of circumstances depending on where they are on the track, depending on what their wax is, depending on what their edge is like, what their skiing style is like. You just really never know. That's what makes it so exciting. Meanwhile, we're back to live action now from University of Virginia. Whitney Fitzgerald from wearing bib number 47. Caroline Crowell now from CU wearing bib 49, also on course. She'll be followed by Ella Weichert from Northern Michigan University. 3 gates to go here.
Whitney Fitzgerald is a Spanish major out of Bedford, New Hampshire.
And Whitney safely across. The time of 1:19.41. That'll put her in the second run here later on this afternoon. Caroline Crowell from Columbia University in bib number 49. We should see her next in the middle section, and there she is. Here's Caroline Crowell. A good top section here now, trying to keep the speed in the center. And across the head wall comes Caroline Crowell. Columbia University now with Caroline Crowell and 8 gates to go.
Caroline, a political science major. Home mountain is Jiminy Peak. Jiminy Crickets, boss.
Jiminy Peak is great. You know how many kids learn how to ski at Jiminy Peak? That is the place to go. I've been there.
Well, I'm telling you, if everybody can learn to ski there, skis like Crowell, then it must be a great place.
Good place to learn, no doubt about it. Great run for Caroline. From Columbia, 127.35. It's 39th fastest here in the morning session. Northern Michigan University's Ella Weichert now in bib number 50. Down Draper's drop. And here comes Weichert. Weichert with a good top half. She makes the tuck and reaches the stripe into the corral. 24th fastest time, 1:12.18. So Ella will sit and wait to see if that time's going to get her into the top 30 flip here for run number 2. Looks like Brigitte Kinnenberg from Castleton has had some problems high above, well, just right out of the start gate it looks like, and that's going to be the end of the day for Brigitte Kinnenberg from Castleton. So that's a tough break for the Castleton ladies in the team competition. Audrey LaFrance now. She's waiting to come down. Then we'll see Corianne Delaney, Erica Irvin, Macy Marinich, and 16 Picard. 16 Picard, certainly somebody to watch here. She just won every single race she beat in the last USCSA championships. But they have already laid down the gauntlet here. Is Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain College and Michelle Murat from Sierra Nevada University. 4 100s apart, just battling it out. You know, Picard can come down here and just blow it all away too. She's capable of that. It's certainly within her skiing realm to be able to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at, again, Sierra Nevada, RMC Sierra Nevada, you just look at that top 4, and that's where it's going. But how about Margaret Beardsley out of Brown? 4th fastest so far in the morning session.
Brown has brought some great teams here to the USCSA National Championships, but they've had some problems in their program, with funding in their program, and I know that they cut the program and then they got it back, and then I think they cut it again. I remember Mike LeBlanc was the coach over there, and just a great team, and it's just one thing after another for the Brown ladies, so it's great to see them back here in competition. Meanwhile, Audrey LaFrance from Colgate has gone down, but it does not appear that she's missed the gate yet. Let's see if she keeps going. Nope, that's going to be the end of the day that's a tough break for Audrey. Audrey LaFrance wearing bib 52 from Colgate. She is down on the course, but appears to be all right. And that's going to be the end of the day for Audrey. Meanwhile now, high up on the hill, a great camera angle from our top camera slot. Meanwhile, here comes Corianne Delaney. Corianne Delaney from UMass, the zoo out of Amherst. Wearing bib number 53, 4 gates to go for Delaney.
Corianne, a mathematics major out of Deerfield. This is her first national championships and would love to live in Australia someday.
Corianne Delaney with a time of 109.76. That's a good first run for Corianne. 20th fastest here in the morning session, so she will see if that's going to be quick enough to make the top 30 flip here out of Deerfield, Massachusetts. I know that town well. I know that place.
A lot of fun memories.
I have a lot of fun high school memories from that place. Erica Irvin from St. Joseph's College of Maine now in the start box. She'll be ready for her first USCSA National Championship run.
This is her first national championship, so a debut for Erica Irvin out of Wyndham. Loves to ski at Shawnee Peak. If she could live anywhere, I love this answer. If I could live anywhere, I'd live in Cinderella's castle at Walt Disney World. Boss, I'm a huge Disney fan. Sorry,
you and your wife would do that too.
Oh, we totally would. We totally would.
Glad you're watching us here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Boss Hogg and Elon Olive joining you here from the broadcast booth. We don't like this shot a whole bunch, obviously. You can see why. That's why we're broadcasters and we have faces for radio instead of faces for television. But just so you knew, there were actual people here broadcasting to you. It wasn't something that came out of a cell phone or some type of program, but we're glad you're joining us here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. It's great to have you back as well. I missed you last year, although Slider did a heck of a job the last time we were together.
It sounds like I've got some big shoes to fill.
Of course, you can check out Trent Rosenberg. Slider is back here in Lake Placid on the USCSA Broadcast Network over on the Nordic Channel, and we'll be broadcasting all week from Mount Van Hodenberg. Erica Irvin now from St. Joseph's College of Maine. She slid out. It looks like she's going to try to hike the gate. But no, I think that's the end of the day for Erica Irvin wearing bib number 54, and in fact it is. So a tough break for St. Joseph College of Maine's Erica Irvin. Macy Marinich now from the United States Military Academy in bib number 55. She will be next. Yes, Macy Marinich. We'll see her come into view now through this intersection into the bottom third comes Marinich. And over the head wall into the final 8 gates, here's Macy Marinich from the United States Military Academy.
Macy was asked what famous person, past or present, they would invite to dinner. She said, get this, the man who invented spiral notebooks.
It's amazing. Macy Marinich now from the United States Military Academy. And she is across in 128.92. Now on course, here it is. 16 Picard wearing bib number 56. They put her right in the middle of the pack, which is an odd starting position for Picard. And she's only 4th fastest after the first split shack. So a tough top section here for 16 Picard. We're going to see if she'll be able to pick up some speed into the middle section. Should be coming into our view momentarily. Picard is no stranger to a national championship. And if something happened to 16, no, here she is right there. Picard now driving through the center section. She's been able to move up to 3rd fastest at the split shack. And here comes Picard, flying down the head wall at 16 Picard. She knows how to gather speed. She knows how to win a national championship. Let's see how she does here in run number 1. 4 gates to go for 16 Picard. Picard now driving to the line. And across the stripe at 16 Picard. And Picard with a 5th fastest time of the morning. 104.24 for 16 Picard. And it looks like she had a tough time in the top half of the section, then was able to make it up in the middle section, and came down the head wall and looked like she got a little late in the final 3 or 4 gates, Elon. So we were looking for a little bit faster out of 16 Picard, but still in the race at 104.24, but off of the times of the 102.18 and 102.22 from Sato and Marat.
Yeah, but 16 Picard, we know she is capable of making up that time. She could absolutely blast off in this second run. And if she does, look out, podium. This could be a very legendary finish that we're in for later on this afternoon.
Let's go over your top 5 still, though. 16 Picard now in the 5th position from Sierra Nevada. Honor Clissold, her teammate, in the 4th slot. Rocky Mountain's Brigitte Varney in 3rd. Sierra Nevada's Michelle Marat in 2nd. And still your leader with a 102.18 from Rocky Mountain College. It's the battle in Bear Hill to Sato.
On course right now, we've got Amy Farley out of College of Idaho. By the way, new coach for College of Idaho, Erin Flynn. And she currently checks in with the 30th fastest time, 24.59. Waiting for her to come across into the first part before we hit the drop. When asked what famous person she would invite to dinner, past or present, she picked Amelia Earhart. Coming down Draper's drop, here is Amy Farley out of College of Idaho. Waitsburg, Washington. Bogus Basin is her home base as she comes down with about 4 gates left to go as she hits the line with a final time of 110.98, good enough for 24th. So a top 25 team, or finish, for Amy Farley. Next up will be Rocky Mountain College's Sophia Rutisa, as she has the 6th fastest time at the split shack and holds at 6th at the 2nd fastest. And already on Draper's drop, this is the battle in Bear, Sophia Rutisa, as she comes down, really trying to edge her way into that top 5. Rocky Mountain College, Sophia Brutisa, and she hits the line with a final time of 104.49, good enough for 8th place. Back to you, Boss Hogg.
That's a great run right there. Unbelievable. Good stuff from Sophia. We've not seen her. She is a new name here on this Battle and Bear team out of Billings. Gary Wolf always surprising us, always bringing brand new talent into the mix. You never know what's coming up next. One of the most storied programs in the history of the USCSA. Great to see Jerry. He was sick last night. He was not at the opening ceremonies. He was feeling, had a little stomach thing going on, but he says he's gotten it all out of him. I saw him this morning. He's half the man he used to be. He is. He looks like, weight has never lost or gained, Elon. It's just displaced. And so as Jerry lost the weight over the last year, I gained his weight. So that's why he's 50 pounds lighter and I'm 50 pounds heavier. Meanwhile, Ella Weiser is not 50 pounds anything except closer to being in the second run with a great first run here from Northeastern University. 1:14.78. That's good enough for 33rd fastest here, but she'll be back. Ella Weiser from Northeastern University wearing bib number 59, and she will have a second opportunity later on this afternoon. Meanwhile, here across Draper's Drop comes Annabelle Hicks. Annabelle, from the University of Connecticut, is wide there, and she just could not gather it. It was too much speed. She got behind and was too low. She tried to press on the edge, and the edge just gave out, and that's the end of the day. So a tough break. Tough break for Sophia Brustia. Check that. That was Annabelle Hicks from UConn.
Hicks, one of the smartest skiers in USCSA. She is a PhD major in French.
Wow. Well, I guess she speaks French.
Yeah, and also when asked what's next, she's going to travel to Quebec and Wales.
To France.
Yep.
To travel to France.
Well, she's creating a documentary as part of her doctoral research.
Oh, wow. Well, she's a smarty pants.
Very.
Wow. That is awesome. Meanwhile, Casey Meyer now from University of Nevada, Reno, wearing a bib number 61 across the stripe and a 1:20.37, so a good first run for Casey. Casey will be back for run number 2 this afternoon. Now it's Caroline Gray from Hobart Williams Smith. Of course, Hobart Williams Smith with brand new speed suits. They used to have the Boss Hog's favorite speed suit. I own a Hobart Williams Smith speed suit. The ugliest thing that's ever been created. It had 7 different colors on it. I loved it. But they've changed it because Solo Cup is coaching. We'll talk about that in a second. Meanwhile, Caroline Gray now from Hobart Williams Smith. And a good first run for Gray. Gray with a 109.22. That's good enough for 20th here. She looks like she might be in good shape for the top 30 flip here in run number 1. But look at the new suits here for Hobart Williams Smith. Well, those are much nicer. They don't have brown and purple and green in them anymore. And it looks like Janie Froon from CSU is a DNF. She was on course, and it looks like she is skied out high, and that's going to be the end of the day for Froon. So a tough break for Jane Froon from CSU. That's Colorado State University. Naomi Harris from the University of Virginia. She'll be followed by Anna Walthiner. Anna Wall-Eichner, Emily Ackler, Sheridan Westfall, Lindsay Carell, and Kayla Vanda Covering will come down in the next 4 positions. Meanwhile, in your top 5, it's still Picard, Quissel, Barney, Marvat, and Lodasato leading the charge for Rocky Mountain College. It is an all RMC SNU battle here in the top 5. Anna Wall-Eitner from the University of California at Berkeley. Check that. Naomi Harris is coming down next. She'll be the next racer down in bib 84 from the University of Virginia. And then we'll see Anna will be after Naomi. So I got those orders mixed up. Anna Wall-Eitner and Naomi Harris.
Harris out of the University of Virginia. And that's another one of those great schools that we're happy to have here at the USCSA National Championships. And really, it's really cool to see the mix of those big schools and the smaller schools such as Rocky Mountain College and Sierra Nevada University. But anyway, Naomi Harris out of University of Virginia comes from Charlottesville, Virginia, and would love to live in Austin, Texas.
Well, you can do that. They make rental vans and you can take an airplane. She can do that.
Oh, absolutely. Austin's a great place,
It's
too.
a great place. Naomi Harris, Charlottesville's finest. It's great to see the Dirty South represented in snow sports. I love it. Liberty University here with a huge team. They brought their own bus. University of Virginia here. These are schools that typically don't have incredible snow sports programs, and to watch them be good enough to make the national championships is just a testament to how it can happen any place, anytime. And a good run for Naomi Harris from UVA, 132.78. She'll be back for run number 2 this afternoon in her first national championships. Anna Wall-Eitner now from University of California at Berkeley. She'll be followed by Emily Alkier from Babson. Sheridan Westfall, Lindsay Carell, and Kayla Vanda covering your next 3 racers.
Anna comes to us from Danville, California. On what's her plan? She plans on earning a degree in law after finishing her undergraduate studies. But this is the most important one. Most importantly, I have 0, all caps, 0 plans on quitting skiing.
No one ever quits skiing.
No, it's
Never known anyone to ever quit skiing.
It is more than a sport. It
Who would
truly is
quit
a
skiing?
lifestyle.
Yeah, who would ever quit skiing? Just no one does. I mean, our board operator, he quit for a little, crashed his ankles into the ground and couldn't ski anymore, but he's doing better now. Right behind me, that's Matt Wallace, the man on the board. Back to live action now. Coming down the head wall, it's Emily Alkier from Babson. Wall-Eitner, by the way, 121.97 across the stripe. 5 gates to go here for Emily Alkier.
Alkier, one of our international athletes, comes to us from Toronto, Canada, and would love to have dinner with Taylor Swift.
She had a good run right there. 15th fastest from the middle of the pack. 107.28 from Babson. She'll be happy with that, and she'll watch to see if that'll make the top 30 flip. That's probably safe in the top 30, I would say. Although you never know, 138 racers here in the largest field ever for the women's GS. Here's Sheridan Westfall from St. Olaf, making her way through the center section into the lower third. 8 gates to go for Westfall.
Westfall, a veteran at the USCSA National Championships. This is her 3rd one. And what famous person she would like to invite to dinner? Love this one. Freddie Mercury.
Every year we change the questions up for the athlete bios. They fill them out themselves, by the way. Nobody makes them do it. It's all done online. And we can't read, of course, all of the answers that they fill out because we have no filters when they actually fill them out. But we have to have filters when we read them, obviously. But Sheridan Westfall from St. Olaf, wearing bib 67, 113.05 in her first run. Here comes Lindsay Carell, Lafayette College's Lindsay Carell in bib 68.
First national championship for Lindsay, coached by C.C. Gordon. She's an engineering major.
And now she is sliding and has come to a stop. Tough break there for Lindsay Carell from Lafayette. Kayla Vander covering now from the College of Idaho. Kayla now making her way through the top section of the course. She'll be followed by Megan Perkins. And here comes Kayla Vander covering. Out of the center section, into the transition, and now on to Draper's Drop. Here is Kayla.
Kayla is a biomedical science major from Portland, Oregon. Loves to ski at Mount Hood.
Yes, she does. Oshog now living in Portland, Oregon. Wild and crazy out on the West Coast, I got to tell you. Good run there for Kayla Vander covering from the College of Idaho. 122.33 for Kayla. She'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon. Megan Perkins now from St. Joseph's College of Maine, wearing bib 71 on course. Casey Johnston from Colorado State University. She is now dropped in from the start track. And Alexandra Davis from Colgate. She awaits her first run high at the start box. And it looks like Megan Perkins is speed off course, and that is the end of the day for Megan Perkins from St. Joseph's College of Maine. That's a tough break. Great to see SJCM here at their first USCSA National Championships. Casey Johnston now from Colorado State in bib 72.
Casey loves to ski at Abe, Arapahoe Basin. This is her first national championship, and she would love to have dinner with Lindsey Vaughn.
Lindsey Vaughn. She'd love to have dinner with Lindsey Vaughn. If she was a TikTok celebrity, what would she be known for? Movie reviews and analysis. She wants to join the Peace Corps. Look at that. That's her dream job. It's great. Casey Johnston, Colorado State University. Wearing bib number 72 now. 3 gates to go for Johnston. And a good first run for Casey Johnston, 130.64. She'll have a chance to improve upon that later on today. We will take the top 30 times, reverse their order. We call it the flip. That's the order they'll come down in run number 2. We'll take the times from run number 1, add them to run number 2, and that's how we'll crown this year's USCSA Ladies DS National Champion. Anybody's race, Elin Olive. They are all just jacked together there in the top 2 slots. 4 100ths of a second, separating the leader, Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain, from Sierra Nevada's Michelle Murat. That is anybody's race this afternoon. It's going to take a real championship run to win this thing today.
Absolutely, and you talk about those two, but then you talk about the other spots on the podium. The rest of them are just jammed together from 3 down to 6, and right in the middle of it, Margaret Beardsley out of Brown joining the Sierra Nevada Rocky Mountain College crowd.
No doubt these two teams have had a rivalry like none other for as long as I've been involved with the USCSA. Incredible competition. And you know, the great thing is, Elin, is that at the end of the day, after they have just done everything they could to beat each other, all right? I mean, just whip them. They are the very best of friends. They get together, they hug, they kiss, they love each other, they have fun together, they communicate with each other. I communicate with them as well. As how I know this. I know that they become friends off of the mountain, and these are the 2 most hotly contested colleges in women's snow sports, warring it out every single year, and somehow, some way, they're best of friends at the bottom of the run.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll never forget in 2019 when we saw Anton Waller win the Slalom National Championship after Andrzej Poglitic, Pogi, the GOAT of the last decade for USCSA, ski out. Pogi comes down. He still puts in an amazing run, misses the podium, finishes 4th just barely. And then those two teams are meeting at the finishing corral, hugging each other, congratulating each other. It's really something unique just to this league.
I agree. So I love to be a part of it, too. It's why I come back every year. Alexandra Davis from Colgate now, wearing bib number 73. Making her way into the final 3 gates comes Davis, 40th fastest at the split shack. Now she'll tuck and grab the stripe with a time of 1:13.42. It looks like Tabukla has skied out. Let's take a look at that. We want to make sure Tatiana Tabolka, from Castleton University. Tatiana wearing bib number 74. And she has skied off the course. So here's Alexandra Davis in bib 73 from Colgate. That's a good first run at 1:13.42, 36th fastest here in the morning set. She'll be back for the second run later on today. Good crowd of supporters here on a blustery afternoon in Whiteface Mountain, upstate New York. Lake Placid, the home of the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympic Games, also the home of next year's World University Games. And boy, is this town on fire getting ready for that. I've never seen, just the capital improvements that have made in this community in the last 2 years are unbelievable. And right here at Whiteface, certainly inside the town, Mount Van Hovenberg is something like you've never seen before. And it's great to see that New York's commitment to winter snow sports is what it is today.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the legacy of the Olympic Games from 1980. I personally cannot wait to see what the future holds for Lake Placid after those World University Games next year. They really are turning the clock back to 1980 here in this town.
Sydney Weaver from Rocky Mountain College now on course, making her way out of the top section now into the center flats. You can see it really gets flat there, so you've got to keep your speed. First, you have to have the speed in that section. Then you've got to keep it. Then it dumps you over the head wall, and boy, it is a rocket ride. The first 2 top gates of this head wall are tough. No problems here, though, for Sydney Weaver. 20th fastest at the split track. Now 3 gates to go for Weaver. And Jerry Wolf putting his racers all over the field here, just in case. And a good run for Sydney Weaver. 21st fastest, 108.57 for Weaver. The Battling Bear from Billings. And it looks like after Weaver, we had a ski out. That was Julia Martin from Babson. And indeed, Julia Martin has skied out. So it's another tough break for Babson College. As Julia Martin, she goes down and will not be back here for run number 2 today. Of course, we'll see all these lady skiers one more time, regardless of what happens here in this session or next. For the ladies slalom coming up here on the USCSA Broadcast Network Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m. Boss Hog and Elon will be back with you from the competition center here at Whiteface. We hope you'll join us tomorrow. Of course, the big dogs eat. The men come to town for the GS. Both runs right here on the network. Of course, if Alpine ski racing isn't your thing, we got plenty more for you here all week long from the USCSA National Championships, including the entire snowboard and free ski schedule. That is border cross, skier cross, and rail jam today and tomorrow on the network. The Beeve is back again all the way in from Boise, Idaho to announce that. And just a wild assortment of guests as Mark Oliver knows how to bring them in. You can check that out at USCSA.com. Just click National Championships, then broadcast, and then you'll see the screen you want to see. If you're interested in cross country, we've got that covered too, all the way from the brand new Van Hovenberg Center. Trent Rosenberg, we call him Slider, along with the coach, Bob Underwood, everybody's favorite coach here in upstate New York. I think Bob Underwood has probably coached more kids and taught them how to cross-country ski than anybody I know. They are live on the microphone right now and will be today, tomorrow. They, of course, take the rest day on Thursday and then back with more live Nordic action here on the network Friday and Saturday. Claire O'Brien now, back to live action coming through. The center section onto the lower half. He's at the top of the head wall, staring at the finish line. 8 gates to go for O'Brien.
This is her first national championships. Plan on going to grad school for psychology and eventually working in sports psychology. I also want to travel and ski as many places as she can.
A good bottom section there for Claire O'Brien with a 111.55. Good enough for 29th place, so right on the bubble or very close to the bubble sits Claire O'Brien. She'll see if that can hold up here. Meanwhile, Tate Gordon now from Lafayette in bib 78. And Eliza Wooden from University of Virginia. Eliza Woodfin, check that. Both on course. Here's Tate Gordon now down the head wall. Had to scrape a little bit of speed there. Boy, they are really cranking as they get into the center. And this set from Coach Enders out of Colgate. Straight, as you said earlier in the broadcast, he went straight down the fall line. It is fake. It's going fast. I mean, that's by the time you hit the second gate on the head wall, you were at full speed again.
Yeah, and you've really got to prepare yourself for it. There's nothing worse than dropping over a head wall and not being in the right situation, right positioning, and being offline.
Tate Gordon there from Lafayette with a 118.35. It's good enough for 45th position. Eliza Woodfin now. The Cavalier from the University of Virginia wearing bib number 79. She'll be followed by Emily Creek out of Northern Michigan University. Rachel Tanner, Nell Solomon, Marjorie Plant, Abby Horning, and Sabina Brink, your next 5 to come down. Here's Eliza Woodfin. Woodfin now making her way across the head wall. Woodfin refuses to fall or miss a gate in this race.
Eliza, an economics and Chinese literature and language major. This is her first national championship, and she wants to move to Colorado with her friend Jana Mallon and become kale farmers that shred the gnar on the regular.
Oh, this doesn't sound bad. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Eliza Woodfin's got it going on here, and now across the stripe comes Woodfin in a successful first run in her first USCSA National Championship. And Woodfin will be back for run number 2 later on today. Now coming into your picture and across the head wall, it's Emily Creek from Northern Michigan University. Rachel Tanner now on course from St. Olaf. And Nell Solomon from Northeastern. She awaits her first run from the start shack. Meanwhile, 4 gates to go for Emily Creek.
Emily out of Longmont, Colorado, loves to ski at Winter Park and would like to invite Tom Cruise to dinner.
1:13.55 for Emily Creek. That's 39 fastest here in the first set. She'll be back for run number 2. Rachel Tanner from St. Olaf now, coming out of the top section into the middle flats. She'll come into our view momentarily, and it looks like something has happened here. No, that's a coach. Still good racing. There she is. That's Rachel Tanner. St. Olaf wearing bib number 81. 58 fastest at the second split shack. Of course, all the racers now trying to make this top 30 flip. That'll be the order we send them down as we reverse that in run number 2. 3 gates to go for Rachel Tanner. And Tanner across the stripe in a 1:21.02. So a good first run for Rachel. Nell Solomon from Northeastern University is next. She'll be followed by Marjorie Plants and Abby Horning. Meanwhile, at the top of the drop, it is Nell Solomon.
Solomon, an environmental studies major out of Northeastern University. She wants to go into coral reef conservation after this national championship. Solomon hits the line with a time of 1:14.36, good enough for 40th place as Marjorie Plants out of Hobart Williams Smith University is on course right now. Run through our top 5 again. It's Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain College, Michelle Marat, Brigitta Varn, Honor Clissold, as Plants looks like she had some trouble on the course. Now we'll bring up Abby Horning from UConn, sitting in the start house right now, wearing bib number 5, back to our top 5. Hunter Clissold in 4th place, and the reigning national champion, 16 Picard, in 5th. Horning on the course for UConn, wearing bib number 85. She is about to enter our view in a moment now. Sabina Brink sitting in the start house for UCB. Beautiful day here in Lake Placid as we are here for the USCSA National Championships, Women's GS going on right now.
I can see blue sky. There's blue sky. It did not. I told you on the lift ride up this morning. I said the skies are going to come out. That's the great thing about weather in New England is you just wait 5 minutes and the weather changes. So,
Abby Horning getting ready to come down Draper's Drop. Abby is a computer science and engineering major from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, and wants to work for a big company like Google or Microsoft. Have at it and good luck.
3 gates to go now for Horning. And a Horning across in 1:13.65. Sabrina Brink now from California, Berkeley in bib number 86, and just dropping in from the top of the box at the University of Nevada, Reno's Lydia Ringer. She'll be followed by Sophia Henry from the United States Military Academy. Good first run there for Abby Horning. She'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon. Sabrina Brink now from Cal Berkeley, Lydia Ringer, and Sophia Henry, the next 3. And here is Sabrina Brink.
Sabina comes from Santa Monica, loves to ski up Mammoth Mountain. First national championships for Miss Brink.
Speaking of Mammoth Mountain, well, we'll talk about that later on the week, but we're going to have a little bit of fun ourselves out at Mammoth Mountain, it looks like, next year, the 2023 USCSA National Championships. It is where we were going to be as the pandemic rolled in and stole it away from us last year. We will be back there next year to bring you this edition, the 2023 USCSA National Championship. Sabrina Brink from Cal Berkeley across in 129.64. Lydia Ringer now from Nevada Reno on the head wall. 5 gates to go for Ringer on the head wall.
Ringer out of Seattle, Washington, and would love to have dinner with Helen Keller. And that's what she would be known for on TikTok, is having dinner with Helen Keller.
She is across safely now with a time of 1:18.99. And it looks like we just missed after Ringer. That's Sophia Henry from the United States Military Academy. No, she is on course. We thought we might have had a DNF, but no, it's not a DNF. We just missed the, yes, it is a DNF. When they miss the split check, that usually means they didn't cross the wand, and that means that something happened. So high up on the hill, we can't see and know exactly why. That's a tough break for the United States Military Academy's Sophia Henry. Tia Nurmanen from Sierra Nevada University. She's coming up next. Certainly one to watch. She's got great skills. Columbia University's Sloan Goldberg. Sophie Brown from Colgate. Castleton's Ashley Lacrosse. And Rocky Mountain's Jessica King, your next 5 racers to come. Tia Nurmanen, she is no rookie here at the USCSA National Championship from Incline Village. Wearing bib number 90, 14th fastest at the first split shack. Let's see if she can come in and lay a top 10 time down here in run number 1 from well back in the pack.
Nurmanen, one of our international athletes, comes to us from Finland and would love to live someplace warm. Next for her is the best week of the spring semester. She's going on spring break.
Well, she is skiing fast right now. She wants to get there in a hurry, I can tell you that. She's not waiting for the plane, man. She is flying down the head wall here. A great run for Tia. Sierra Nevada always having the best of the best. And a good final 3 gates here for Tia Nurmanen. Nurmanen across the line, top 10, 105.87. Good enough for the 10th position. So Tia Nurmanen from Sierra Nevada University. Does that put the entire team in the top 10, I think? Well, let's just go down. It's Tia Nurmanen in 10th, Lauren Adbo in 9th from Babson, Rocky Mountain Sophia Brustia in 8th. It's Castleton's Lena Sonley in 7th, Brown's Margaret Beardsley in 6th, rounding out your top 5 here in run number 1. It is just an SNU and RMC, the plethora, a cornucopia. In 5th, 16th, Ricard, her teammate Hunter Clissold in 4th. Then it's Brigitte Varney from Rocky Mountain in 3rd, Michelle Marat in 2nd from Sierra Nevada, and still your leader, Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain. Meanwhile, it is Sloan Goldberg from Columbia University. Goldberg now making her way into the final 3 gates here down the drop in her first appearance in the USCSA National Championships. And a good run for Sloan. 126.39. She'll be back later on today for run number 2. Sophie Brown from Colgate in bib 92 now. Here she comes across the middle section into the drop.
Sophie coached by our course setter, Todd Enders. She's an economics major out of Pittsburgh, New York.
And 3 gates to go for Brown. Into the tuck and across the line, it's Sophie Brown. At 113.27, that's good enough for 39th position. Ashley Lacrosse now from Castleton in bib 93 on course. She'll be followed by Jessica King, now dropping in from the start shack for Rocky Mountain College. And Columbia University's Billy Forrester. She awaits her first run high atop in the start box. Here is Ashley Lacrosse with 10 gates to go.
Ashley coached by one of the legends of the USCSA, Christopher Ader, a health science and athletic training major out of Ashfield, Massachusetts. If she were a TikTok celebrity, she would be known for cooking.
This first run here for Lacrosse, 111.63. I saw Ader at the opening ceremonies. Coach had a big gray beard on. It used to be brown. Now it's gray. I don't know how that happens. Actually, I do know that. Have you seen my beard? Have you seen Jerry's hair? Jerry Wolf's hair is as gray as I've ever seen it. I just don't know what happens with that. I guess we get older, don't we?
Speaking of Jerry Wolf, one of his skiers on the course right now, Jessica King out of Red Lodge.
That's where they ski. They love it up at Red Lodge. And a good run here for Jessica. Jessica 110.63. Almost on the bubble. 29th fastest for Jessica King. So she is real close to the bubble here. She'll be watching that time, hoping that it will hold up, but still a lot of skiers to come. 138 on the plate for us here in run number 1 this morning. We're just on bib number 95, so still 40 racers to come. Billy Forrester from Columbia University in bib number 95. She's on course. And Caroline Johnson from Babson waiting to drop in from the start shack. Meanwhile, here is Billy Forrester. She makes her way across the transition into the Breakers Drop.
Billy out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, would love to live in a ski-out mountain. And if she was a TikTok celebrity, she would be known for hot takes and funny rants.
As they cheer her on here in the finish corral, Billy Forrester from Columbia University. And a good first run for her. Looks like she's got her lift ticket there attached to her goggles. I'm just kidding. It's really not a lift ticket. Well, it might be her lift ticket. Always fun for the ladies here in run number 1, as you can see. Great to see the camaraderie and team spirit here at this USCSA National Championship. Caroline Johnson now from Babson in bib number 96. She's making her way. Good skiing here through the center section here. Really maintaining good speed. Let's see how she does on the headwall transition. No problems there. Caroline Johnson now. She just trying to keep it together. And sure enough, as I say something, she gets behind. Now back into the swing, but she had to scrape some speed. She got just too low halfway down the head wall. But safely into the finish corral with a 1:11.05 just outside the top 30 flip. 31st fastest here in run number 1 for Caroline Johnson. But a good first run. Babson rocking and rolling here. The USCSA Broadcast Network glad to bring you run number 1 of the ladies' giant slalom here. Boss Hogg and Elin Olive. We're going to be on the call all week long. Of course, tomorrow the men, the big dogs, they drive into town and they are ready to eat. We'll bring you live action tomorrow morning. We're at 9:30 a.m. right here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. And then tomorrow afternoon, we will take that run number 2 for the men. We will crown our 2022 USCSA National Champion here at Whiteface Mountain. Don't forget, check out all the live action at USCSA.com. Just click on National Championships and the broadcast button, and you will be transported into the world of fun. Now coming down the head wall, it's Teresa McCallum from the College of Idaho. By the way, Caroline Johnson from Babson, 1:11.05, 31st fastest, just outside the flip. Teresa McCallum now, College of Idaho, bib number 97. Great to see the Yotes back again. COVID was not friendly to many of the small colleges, as you know, Elin, and lots of wondering about schools that have a college enrollment of 1,000 kids or 1,200 kids, and a lot of these smaller colleges with COVID, they just didn't know if the kids had come back. They didn't know in what form they'd come back, and certainly last year was a tough year for a lot of these schools, but just to see the College of Idaho back with a program here and a team here, and so many new schools that we've never seen before, a Messiah University and College of St. Scholastica and the Claremont colleges. We made it. We survived. Yeah. And we're back to the way it used to be and the things that we know how to do. And we've got to be careful, of course. Everybody's got to be careful, but it's just great to have this event going on and seeing that these colleges survived it all and these programs survived it all.
Well, not only are we back, you said it yourself, this is the largest field in this GS race that we've ever had. So not only we're back with a vengeance.
That is Taylor Ash right there from Hobart Williams Smith in the new Hobart Williams Smith speed suits. I miss the old speed suits, by the way. I have one, so I can't say I want one because I own one. They actually presented me my own Boss Hogg speed suit because it was the ugliest speed suit ever created. I understand that Dale Solotruck, previously Chris Ader's assistant coach, has now taken over the program and is now the head coach of Hobart Williams Smith. I think I heard that last night. I'm going to check that out. If that is true, then we're going to have to we're going to have to toast him with a red Solo Cup. We'll talk more about that later. Meanwhile, back to live action. Taylor Ash, Hobart Williams-Smith, 118.64. Now it's Tess Boiler from Lafayette. Tess now safely across the line. And Tess with a time of 1:45.18. You know, that's a great accomplishment for Tess. She'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon in a USCSA National Championship. Lillian Sawine from St. Joseph's College in Maine. And Lillian has skied out, sadly. And I wanted to find out how to pronounce her name because I'll never get it, no matter how many times I try to phonetically pronounce it. It will not happen. And so I hope that she will come and tell me how to pronounce her last name. Sadly, oh, well, you have it. It's Swain. It's Swain. There we go. Lillian Swain. You see, those little pieces of paper are very useful, aren't they? But that's why you have the stack over there. I don't even have the stack. What do you have this stack for? Why don't I have the stack over here? No, you just show them to me. That's what you do. Hey, boss, after you pronounced it incorrectly, then I'm going to show you how to pronounce it correctly.
Well, you're like, you wanting to know how to pronounce it. I'm like, there might be a pronunciation here. Give me 1 second.
Oh, my word. Kenna McCoffey now from the University of Connecticut in bib number 102. She'll be followed by Northern Michigan University's Bryn Rowell. Oh, it's so much fun to be back ski racing again. I know you've missed it now.
Oh, man.
You were just jonesing for 2 years for it, weren't you?
It was. I was supposed to come back last year. Things were finally working out. And then I heard from you about last November saying,
Show over.
We're not prep for 2022. Start your plans for Lake Placid. And luckily, a lot of things kind of lined up. I got the right support from the right people. They know who they are. And we're able to come out and bring it on back. Looks like Kenna McCaughey of University of Connecticut has skied out, and we are on a course hold, Boss Hog.
All right, they say they can't hear me outside. We're going to see if we can fix that.
All right, we have a course hold right now. So let's run through our top 5. Hilda Sato of Rocky Mountain College in first. Michelle Marat from Sierra Nevada University in second. Brigitta Varney from Rocky Mountain College in third. Honor Clissold from Sierra Nevada in fourth. 16 Picard, the reigning national champion from Sierra Nevada in fifth. Margaret Beardsley from Brown in sixth. Lena Solney from Castleton in seventh. Sophia Bruticia from Rocky Mountain College in eighth. Lauren Abdow from Babson in ninth. Tia Nurmanen, from Sierra Nevada College in 10th.
All right, now they can hear me out there, can't they? I can hear myself better now. So I've been talking here for the last hour and a half, and nobody's been able to hear me out inside the venue. Is that right? But my board operator says he can hear me, and so that's good. You know, like that's good. At least you're getting the show, right? All right. Let's see what I can do to turn things around. Okay, that's much better. Boss Hog on the microphone in the venue now, ladies and gentlemen. How do you go an hour without telling Boss Hog you can't hear him outside? It's just unbelievable. We're going to figure it out. It's always the fun on day number 1. But you know what counts the most? It's the broadcast. The broadcast counts number 1. And you can hear me fine, right? So that means all the people in broadcast world can hear me. That's good. That's good. All the well, it's good for some people. My wife might differ. She might say why. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the 2022 USCSA National Championships here live from Whiteface Mountain in beautiful upstate New York. Boss Hog and Elon Olive on the call with you. We will be live all day, all week, and then on Saturday, and Super Saturday, we'll be back for the 8-hour marathon session. Exactly right. Bryn Rowell now from Northern Michigan University. She'll be our next ski racer down. She's waiting to drop in from the start shack. We were talking about the USCSA Broadcast Network. Of course, 3 venues simulcast all week long. Border Cross, their heats and their finals come up today around 12 o'clock on the network. Then we'll bring you the Rail Jam later on today on the Snowboard Channel. Nordic was out early this morning. 10 a.m., I believe, was their start. They'll be up till about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. tune in on the USCSA Nordic channel for that. And we are here with Alpine Racing all week long, so we got you covered. Bryn Roll now from Northern Michigan University in bib number 103. Scarlett Schroeder from Cal Berkeley in bib 104. We'll be dropping in momentarily. We are in run number 1 here for the ladies giant slalom. 138 racers here on the card. We're through 103 as we await Bryn Roll.
Bryn from Northern Michigan University comes to us from Traverse City, Michigan. And if she was TikTok famous, and I love this, she would be known for creating relatable skiing content. Relatable skiing content, boss.
Exactly right. I mean, in contrast to unrelatable skiing content. Down the head wall she comes, whatever that means. It's Bryn Roll. Bib number 103 from Northern Michigan University. 8 gates to go for Roll. Scarlett Schroeder now on course from Cal Berkeley.
Roll with a pretty good run going on right now. I like the line she's taken through the bottom of Draper's Drop.
Got the tuck early and across the line into the corral safely. It's Bryn Roll. Northern Michigan University, 1:15.58. Good enough for 50th fastest here in the morning session. She'll be back in round 2 later on today. We plan to bring you that coverage right at 12:30 Eastern time here from Whiteface Mountain in beautiful upstate New York. Lake Placid, it's the home of the 2022 USCSA National Championships. Scarlett Schroeder now. Schroeder looking to come out of the top section into the middle. Here she is. And Neva Brady, she has just dropped in for run number 1 as well. Meanwhile, on Draper's Drop, it's Scarlett Schroeder.
Schroeder out of University of California, Berkeley, is a marine science major. Good school for that. And was asked what's next. She says, right policy for USA that would conserve and protect wetlands.
3 gates to go for Schroeder. As Scarlett Schroeder now, she sees the finish line, makes the tuck and in safely to the corral. It's Scarlett Schroeder with a time of 1:39.12, bib number 104 from Cal Berkeley. Neva Brady now in bib 105 from Nevada Reno. She'll be next. Meanwhile, waving to mom and dad, there's Scarlett Schroeder. Karen Kimball from UMass. Amherst with a big team here this year. Worcester Polytech with a big team here this year. We haven't seen them in a couple of years.
Run up and down the list. There's tons of teams here that haven't been back for a while or making their debut. It's really good to see the growth of the league.
Speaking of WPI, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Mark Sullivan in the house, coaching WPI, as for the last, it's got to be 20 years now, maybe more. And he is very instrumental in what we've got going on here at the USCSA. Meanwhile, back to live action. Neva Brady in bib number 105 from Nevada Reno. And she will live to ski run number 2.
First national championships for Brady. Well done.
There you go, man. Across the line with a finishing time. She'll be back this afternoon for the late session. And a good job by Neva Brady from Nevada Reno. Karen Kimball from the Zoo in bib number 106 out of Amherst, Mass.
Kimball comes to us from Brewster, New York. And if she could live anywhere, it would be Acadia National Park in Maine. Beautiful spot. I've never been, but
do that. I lived a long time on that island, so we know that place well. In fact, Junior went to school on Mount Desert Island every year of his school until he went to high school. And then he went to CVA over in Carrabassett Valley. So we know those neck of the woods. That is a beautiful place. Karen Kimball, bib number 106 now. And it is windy on the top of the hill. It is definitely variable conditions here. We have seen just about everything here this morning. No problems, though, into the center section. It's Karen Kimball now. She'll make her way into the transition. Now over the head wall into the drop. 8 gates to go. Kimball now had to scrape some speed, just trying to hold on here. Remember, if you don't finish run number 2, there is no second run. And certainly cautiously approaching the finish line is Karen Kimball. Good job, Karen Kimball now across the line. with a time of 1:31.01. She'll be back for run number 2. And soon she will be able to enjoy herself at Acadia National Park because it will be beautifully warm there, and it is the most beautiful place on earth, I'm going to tell you. Back to live action. Lexi Jorgensen now from St. Olaf. St. Olaf with the Alpine team here this year. They bring the heat over on the Nordic track, I can tell you, but it's great to see the ladies here in Alpine competition for St. Olaf. I didn't know much about St. Olaf until I've studied it because they're so good at Nordic ski racing. And, I mean, they got a choir it's world famous, like the Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's the real deal. And what a wonderful university. Just great kids there and super setup.
You know, you got to love how in every sport here at the USCSA national championships, you do have, it's like any other sport. You have the powerhouses. You have the Rocky Mountain College and the Sierra Nevada universities at Alpine. You have the St. Olafs and the Wyomings at Nordic, as well as the Sierra Nevada universities and Western Colorado State at free ski snowboard. You have these teams that just come in and know how to win national championships. And then you have the teams here, such as Brown, who brings in a skier like Margaret Beardsley, and now she's looking at a real possibility of an All-American finish. So it's great to kind of see all of these schools, both big and small, come together and compete for national championships.
Well said, well said. Hannah Gray from Northeastern University in bib number 139 now. How about that, bib number 139? Did we just jack up to, how did we get 139? Oh, it's a late entry. So bib number 139 did come down. That's Hannah Gray, Northeastern University's Hannah Gray. It is blowing up top here, as you can see in our video monitors. Very, very windy at the top of the hill. Not quite as bad down here at the bottom, but no problems for Gray. She's still on course now, skiing well through the head wall. Good speed and good turns. Now 4 gates to go for Gray.
And boss, that wind is going to affect your strategy as you come over that drop. You can see the wind swirling up top. It definitely messes with your vision.
Across the line, though, safely, it's Hannah Gray, and she's in a 1:14.77. So a good first run, considering the conditions upstairs on this run are miserable. Bad visibility, a lot of wind, and boy, you're absolutely right. Just when you think you've got it balanced, and that's what ski racing, as you know, is all about. It's about balance. It's about being in the center of the ski, and just a little bit of wind can take you out of that when you least expect it. No problems here for Eliza Hodgkins, though. Hodgkins from Cornell University. And Hodgkins now with 3 gates to go. She'll be back for run number 2. Sometimes just surviving run number 1 is an accomplishment and an achievement, especially when conditions deteriorate. Of course, the track's still very fast. Got to give it up for the people who prepared this ski run. Folks here at Whiteface Mountain and the race crew at NYSA, that's the New York Ski Education Foundation, have really given us just a wonderful track here. It's absolutely perfect for fast and furious ski racing. Meanwhile, back to live action now. Taylor Hubert from Clarkson in bib 110 on course. Now across the wall, 4 gates to go for Taylor Hubert.
Hubert comes to us from Avon Lake, Ohio, and this is her first national championship.
And a good finish for Hubert. 1:11.97, just off the flip. 36th fastest here in run number 1, but still she'll be back to add some more fun to her national championships here later on this afternoon for run number 2. A great first run for Taylor Hubert. Leah Zmerko from Penn State, the Nittany Lion, in bib number 111. Now coming down the head wall.
Good to see the Nittany Lions back at USCSA National Championships. Leah, a meteorology major.
That's a good job. I like that a lot.
Maybe she can help us out with weather the rest of the week.
Let me tell you what, we got a lady that's on the TV in Portland, Oregon, and she's got to go. So we got to get Leah on that. Leah should be the new meteorologist where I live, that's for sure. Good run for Zmerko there. Penn State Nittany Lion wearing bib number 111, 119.21. She'll be back for run number 2. Meanwhile, here's Zoe Hancock. Here is the first from the Claremont Colleges. We have not had the Claremont Colleges, or at least not in my tutelage here at the USCSA. So it looks like it's their first year for the USCSA National Championships. And great to see Zoe Hancock representing the Claremont Colleges And a good skier right there. Wow. From way back in the pack. 1:13.29. She had a little tough time in the middle section and up top of the bottom half, especially down Draper's Drop. Was fantastic. So a good ski run for Zoe.
Yeah, and if anyone's familiar with changing weather conditions, it would be Zoe Hancock. She comes to us from Anchorage, Alaska. You know things change very quickly there.
Undoubtedly. Back to live action now. Abigail Caron from Whitman College. Is that Whitman College? We're going to see here in just a second. Wow, that's Whitman College. That's up in Washington. That's, I think, in Walla Walla, Washington. I think it's in Walla Walla, Washington. We're going to find out. I love the name Walla Walla, Washington. So, and a good run there for Abigail. Check that for Kendra Winberg. No, from Abigail Caron from Whitman College. So good job for her. She'll be back for run number 2. Looks like we lost a racer there after Abigail. That was Kendra Winberg from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. So Kendra had a good run going, and then about halfway down, Kendra skied off course. And that's going to be the end of the day for Kendra Winberg, University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Whitman College, is it in Walla Walla, Washington? Can we get we're going to find that out. I think it is. First, my good friend, Brian Llewellyn, a graduate of Whitman College. If it's not. Back to live action. Ava Day from Cornell now, making her way down Draper's Drop. 3 gates to go for Ava Day.
Lake Placid hometown resident, loves Whiteface. This is her home mountain. So
wow,
she's familiar with it.
A hometown kid, Ava Day there from Cornell University. Back where she probably learned how to ski. 1:12.72, and that's good enough for 43rd here in run number 1. She'll be back for more later on. Casey Kirschlager now from University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Here comes Kirschlager.
Casey comes to us from Walworth, Wisconsin. If she could live anywhere, she wants to live in Colorado, skiing in the winter, boating and surfing in the summer. What's next for her during college? She wants to study abroad in Australia.
They know what they want. Casey Kirschlager, Minnesota Twin Cities, bid 117 in a time of 1:19.36. Maddie McKay now, the Nittany Lion from Penn State. Bib number 118. Maddie through the center section into the lower third across the transition. And now into the final 9 gates. Here comes Maddie McKay from Penn State University.
Comes to us from Marblehead, loves to ski at Tussey, first national championships. And on TikTok, she'll be known for singing and dancing videos.
Her and another billion people, right? Across the line, it's Maddie McKay from Penn State. Looks like Beth Fisher's had trouble high atop the mountain. We're going to have to check that. Stand by. Meanwhile, Maddie McKay in at 1:23.01. She'll be back for round number 2. That was Beth Fisher from Clarkson. And Beth Fisher from Clarkson has skied out. And that's going to be the end of the day for Fisher. While we have a break here in the action, let's take a look at our top 10. In the 10th position from Sierra Nevada, it's Tia Nurmanen. In 9th from Babson, Lauren Abdow. Sophia Brustia from Rocky Mountain is in the 8th slot. 7th belongs to Lena Sonley from Castleton. In 6th, Margaret Beardsley from Brown. Rounding out your top 5 from Sierra Nevada. 16 Picard in 5th. Honor Klissel, her roommate, or check that, her teammate, also from Sierra Nevada, in 4th. Brigitte Barney from Rocky Mountain in 3rd. Michelle Marat in 2nd place from Sierra Nevada. But still your leader. The time to beat, 102.18 from Rocky Mountain College. It's Hilda Sato.
And we've got a battle brewing. Only 0.04 of a second separating gold and silver right now.
Imagine skiing that far, that fast, through that many gates, and being separated by 4/100ths of a second.
You blink your eyes quicker than, or slower than
Amazing.
that. It's unbelievable.
And I ain't gotta get a warning. 'Cause your body's like a party and I turn up all night long. But I want it. And I'ma give it to you right. I let you own it.
Of course, each day here in downtown Lake Placid, we hand out the hardware for the USCSA National Championships in the awards plaza down on Mirror Lake Beach. Usually we have the awards inside in the conference center, but it's under construction right now, and so they have built us this incredible stage and outdoor awards platform and arena right in downtown Lake Placid. Mirror Lake Beach is the location. 4:30 each day this week is the time. And if you are local or anywhere near Lake Placid, make sure you join us for that. It is exciting to watch these kids get the hardware and take it on. We'll begin that tonight, 4:30 sharp, down at the Mirror Lake stage area. The USCSA National Championships Awards presentation. That all begins tonight here in Lake Placid. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday. We sure are, as the blue skies continue to make themselves known here at Whiteface Mountain. Just about 20 minutes outside of downtown Lake Placid, the home of the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympic Games. This is the spot that Ingmar Stingmark showed everyone who the best skier in the world was in the GS. Happened right here. It's now called the Andrew Weibrecht Finish Arena. And today and for the next 5 days, it is called the home of the 2022 USCSA National Championships. Glad you're joining us here as we get back to live racing action. It's Acadia Johansa Gourdet from Whitman College. Johansen Gourdet, 61st fastest at the split shack. Now into her tuck with 3 gates to go. Here comes Acadia.
Comes to us from West Roxbury, Massachusetts.
And a good run here for Acadia. 114.60, that's good enough for. Nice to see Whitman College here, represented well at the USCSA Nationals. Have not seen them before. So welcome to the Whitman College kids. Glad you are with us here at Alpine. University of Minnesota Twin Cities Piper Gardner now through the center section, across the transition into the final 8 gates.
Gardner, a Minneapolis native, comes to us and loves to ski at Afton Alps' first national championship. Would love to live in Park City. And what famous person she would invite to dinner would be Jay Shetty, author of Think Like a Monk book.
She thought like a monk in that run. Not bad at all for Piper Gardner. Good stuff from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities Piper Gardner in bib number 121. The time of 1:16.44, good enough for 63rd spot. She'll be back for run number 2 later on today. Sarah Hoffman now, also from Whitman. So the Whitman team all coming together here at the tail end of this first run. Hoffman. She'll be followed by Shannon Quiles and Erica Debley, all ready for their first run of this USCSA National Championship. Doesn't matter what position you come in, the nerves are unbelievable in the start shack right now. You know that everybody's knees are knocking. Meanwhile, Sarah Hoffman, right here at the bottom, she has got one under her belt from Whitman College, 121.18 for bib number 122. That's Sarah Hoffman from Whitman College. Shannon Quiles now from Clarkson. Down the head wall, 4 gates to go. Wearing bib number 123.
Shannon comes to us from Mahwah, New Jersey, coached by Nick LaCase.
And that is Shannon Quiles. Quiles with the 120, check that, 112.58. Pretty large list of D&Fs are starting to add up, Elon Olive. What does that tell you? That tells you that course is a little tricky up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the weather may have a little bit to do with it. The swirling wind at the top of the drop.
Erica Debley now across the line. Cornell University, 112.09. That's bib number 124. It's a good first run there for Erica Debley. And it looks like Robinson right behind her is skied out. That's a tough break for Audra Robinson from Penn State University. Nittany Lions needed to score some points there. But she'll be back for the slalom on Thursday. We'll bring it to you live here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. Nevada Lee, she's coming up next from the Claremont Colleges. Then we'll see Hannah Janzik, Olivia Anderson, Michaela Eichel, and Sarah Lopresti, your next 5 racers. No change in the top 5, however. 16 Picard in 5th, Honor Gleason in 4th, Brigitte Vardy in 3rd, Michelle Marat in 2nd, and still your leader by just 4 100ths of a second. It is Hilda Sato from Rocky Mountain College.
Absolutely fantastic race we have shaping up here at the very, very end. And again, that podium, there's going to be a battle for that bronze medal position. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all within a second of that 3rd place spot.
It is anybody's race here this afternoon. As the sun comes out, the visibility gets better. The wind has died down just almost to nothing down here at the bottom. And let's hope we can keep it that way, because what a great afternoon of championship ski racing we're going to have here at Whiteface. Lots of people on hand here at the venue as well. Sometimes you can come to a ski race and there won't be 20 people there, and sometimes you come, there'll be 300, and we've had just a little bit of all of that in our USCSA history.
Definitely a great crowd on hand today.
You know what's nice, even, is to see the guys come out to support the ladies.
Yep.
So you'll see, if they bring a men's Alpine team and a women's Alpine team on the ladies' day, then the men are in the corral cheering for the girls, and it's vice versa tomorrow.
Yep, and it's a busy day for both the boys today and the girls tomorrow. Of course, they're here supporting their teammates, but you've got a lot of those guys also competing in skier cross today, and the women will have their crack at the skier cross course tomorrow.
That's exactly right. Of course, lots of athletes, especially in Alpine racers, will cross over and ski in the skier cross competition. Some don't, though. Meanwhile, back to live action now. Nevada Lee from the Claremont Colleges down the head wall with 5 gates to go.
Nevada from Las Vegas, Nevada. Home mountain is Jackson Hole, first national championship, and she would love to live in Nepal.
I wouldn't mind living in Las Vegas, actually. That's a fun place. Boy. Hannah Janzik from University of Minnesota, Twin Cities now on course. 3 gates to go for Hannah. She's in bib number 127 and into the tuck and across the line in a 1:18.21. It looks like Olivia Anderson from Whitman College has skied off the course. She's okay, but that's going to do it for her day. She will not make it down for run number 1. So instead, 127, that's Hannah Janzik from Minnesota Twin Cities. 1:18.21, and a good first run for Hannah. Got a course hold now. Racing will resume shortly. It's a good opportunity for you to hop up if you're watching online. Grab yourself a refreshment. Of course, we're going to finish these last 8 racers here for the morning session, and we'll wrap things up for run number 1. We'll take a quick break and be back with you at 12:30 this afternoon. We'll take the top 30 times here in the morning session. We'll reverse that order. That's the order they'll come down today. We'll add the times together, and the lowest combined time will be crowned our ladies' national GS champion. Who's it going to be, Elon Olive? Do you know?
Oh, man, this is a coin flip. Hilda Sato, she's had a dominant season this year. Michelle Marat, she's got 2 national championships from 2019. It's a coin flip. You also can't count out 16 Picard. But, boss, I'm looking at the top 3, And then especially in that third place position held currently by Brigitte Varney, you have got about 4 within half a second of her. So that is going to be a absolute classic race from about 8 up to 1 when we start that flip later on this afternoon.
Looking forward to it. I can't wait. You can watch it live here on the USCSA Broadcast Network. We hope you'll join us. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That is our local time here in Wilmington, New York, the home of Whiteface Mountain, right outside of Lake Placid. Back to live action now. Michaela Eichel from Cornell University on course, wearing bib number 129. She'll be followed by Sarah Lopresti in bib 130. But here is Michaela Eichel. Eichel with the 51st fastest second split time. She'll need to pour it on to make the flip, but a good head wall run here for Michaela Eichel.
Coached by Rick Bunnell, an information science major, loves to ski at Loon Mountain, and if she was a TikTok celebrity, she would be known for, get this, bird videos.
Looney. That is Michaela Eichel from Cornell. 1:12.91 is the time. 46 fastest here in the morning session. The first run for 129's Michaela Eichel. Sarah Lopresti from Clarkson skied out. I don't know what that means for the team competition, but it can't mean good. You get your, typically the skiers that are loaded by coaches in the back of the field, that's in case they need one. That's because, we've been through our best racers and they've gotten their fastest times, but often that last position, it gets filled with someone who's really fast. And if you talk to Jerry Wolf at Rocky Mountain, or you talk to Mahela Kosi at Sierra Nevada, they'll tell you that sometimes we put our best racers last just in case we need some special performance from them to maintain competitive in the team results. And so you never know where someone's going to be or how they're going to be utilized just because there's strategy involved in that placement.
Well, it's like any other sport. In basketball, you've got to have a deep bench. In baseball, you've got to have the bullpen. You've got to have those guys to kind of backfill those last spots that you need. So it absolutely makes sense for Coach Wolf, for Coach Mahosi to kind of put things, some of their best racers towards the back. I mean, you look at the start for today, they had 16 Picard starting around the 50 area.
Right.
So that is exactly what Coach Michaela Kosi did, and it looks like it's working for Sierra Nevada. They have got 3 of the top 5 times.
Unbelievable. Every year, too, just year in and year out. That is excellence in a program is what that is. And you always know it was started by Bronco Zagar. Yep. And Bronco moved on, is now in Jackson Hole teaching young kids how to ski, race at the Jackson Hole Ski and Snowboard Club. And one of his racers, Mahela Kosi, took over the program and is now the head coach. So you talk about legacy, and one of the finest coaches in the game has just passed it on. And now Mahela's passing it on to her athletes.
Well, it wasn't that long ago. Mahela was running down these runs. I believe 2018 we were calling her name.
That's exactly right.
So this is definitely one of those legacy type deals. But Jerry Wolf, he's the guy that's been there for so long, and he just always gets top shelf talent, and not just talent, but top shelf kids. Really, all of these programs have great human beings attached to them, and it's just a hats off to the coaches, the university presidents, the parents, everyone that had anything to do with these kids coming out the way they are, because I gotta say, in the USCSA, we have some of not just the best athletes, but just the best people involved.
Isabel Ucar now from Penn State, the Nittany Lion, out of State College, PA, wearing bib number 131. She's on course. She'll be followed by Ella Thunen from the Claremont Colleges. As we make our way down to the final part of the first run list here, Natalie Malmgren from Penn State, along with Emma Beaver from Whitman. We'll see Cornell's Hannah Epstein, Haley Morton from the Claremont Colleges, Abigail Jakunski from Clarkson, and our final racer from Minnesota Twin Cities this morning is Hannah Burns. Just a few left here as we've got Isabel Ucar from Penn State University should be coming around. We'll take a look at our high camera to see if she can, and there she is.
Isabella, a corporate innovation and entrepreneurship major out of Huntington Beach, California. First national championship for her. She would love to live in Europe, and the person she would like to invite to dinner, past or present, would be Jennifer Lawrence. And she wants to spend an entire year traveling the world and seeing as much as she possibly can.
Well, she is going to see the side of a second run here this afternoon from a good performance here in run number 1 for Isabella Ukar, 120.27 from Penn State University. She'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon. Meanwhile, the Claremont Colleges, Ella Thunen, wearing bib number 132. She'll be followed by Natalie Malmgren and Emma Beaver. Boy, it is bright and sunny here in Lake Placid now.
Yeah, complete turnaround from when we first got here. It was low clouds, wind.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Gonna have to change the lenses out awfully quick if you're the racers.
This course is just held up to what a track. Look at it. There's not a rut. There's not a rut in it. It is just a great testament to the job they've done here at Whiteface preparing this track for us. For 5 big days of championship racing here at the 2022 USCSA National Championships. Boss Hogg and Elin Olive on the call for you here at the Broadcast Network. Glad you're joining us from wherever in the world you may be at www.uscsa.com. Ella Thunen now from the Claremont Colleges across the line in a 158.04. She will be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon. Since we have been together the last time, Elin Olive, you have expanded your broadcasting career quite a bit, I understand. It's, ladies and gentlemen, Elin Olive, the voice of the Evanston, Wyoming Red Devils, and the sports director for KNY Radio.
KNYN, one of the sports directors, yeah.
KNYN Radio in right outside of Evanston, Wyoming, and you moved up from Salt Lake City all the way to take the job, and you were a broadcaster to start. Now they've promoted you to the head of the department, and you're just knocking it. You're knocking it out of the park out there. So you want to say hi to Val and all the guys over at the radio station?
Yeah, big thank you and hi to Val Cook, Julie Burley, Kayleen Anderson, also Matt Petrie, Christine Wiley, the staff at My Local Radio Sports, Dan Hubbard, Cody Olson, and Cullen Holt. So hi, and thank you guys for the support.
You walked out of them during that high school basketball championships, didn't you?
Regional
Did
championships.
they know that you're just out here farting off at a ski mountain? Are they aware of that?
Yeah, they're aware.
You told them a lie, didn't you? You said, I got to work this big job. They don't know what you're really doing out here, do they?
You're going to get me fired, boss.
Back to live action here is Natalie Malmgren from Penn State University is across the line in a time of 126.30. Ella Thunen, by the way, from the Claremont College is also across 158.04. Emma Beaver now from Whitman College in bib number 134. She is on course. She'll be followed by Hannah Epstein from Cornell. Haley Morton, also from the Claremont Colleges. Clarkson's Abigail Jakunski, and Hannah Burns, our final racer of the morning session from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, all coming up. Meanwhile, here is Emma Beaver.
Emma comes to us from Helena, Montana. Favorite mountain is Bridger Bowl. First national championship. Would love to live in New Zealand and do some traveling and work as a ski and bike patrol EMT.
That Bridger Bowl is beautiful up there. My word, what a place to go. Good run here. Run number 1 for Emma Beaver from Whitman. 134 is her bib number. 143.55 is her time. That's top 100. She'll be back for run number 2 in her first national championship. So hello and welcome to Emma Beaver from Whitman College. Glad you're with us here. Hannah Epstein now from Cornell. She'll be next.
From Needham, Massachusetts, Waterville Valley is her favorite mountain.
Here she is, Hannah Epstein. 68th fastest at the second split shot, 49.63 as she makes her way into the transition, now over the head wall. And into the final 6 gates comes Beaver.
National Championships rookie Hannah Epstein wants to buy a pet Komodo dragon.
I love it. And across the line, it's Hannah Epstein, 1:15:38. The Kimono Dragon. That was the show. I watched a movie with a Kimono Dragon in it with the I can't remember. I'm going to have to tell you more about it as my memory comes back. I think they wanted to eat the Kimono Dragon. It was like some dinner club where they would eat wild animals or something.
What movies are you watching?
I'm telling you, it was. I think Marlon Brando was in the damn thing.
Oh,
I
that
can't
makes
remember.
sense.
It was some crazy movie. I'll have to remember what that was. Haley Morton now from the Claremont Colleges, bib number 136. She is on course. Abigail Jakunski from Clarkson. She will be next, dropping in. And let's see how Haley Morton is navigating herself, as she should be coming out of the top section now into the middle section. Looks like we may have had a problem, and we have. Yeah, we didn't see her come into the broadcast shot, and that means something happened high above. So somewhere in the first 10 gates, Haley Morton from the Claremont Colleges had difficulty, and that's going to be the end of the day for Haley. So no second run. If you don't make it through the first, you don't get to come back for the second. However, we will see Haley back here again on Thursday as we bring you live coverage of the ladies slalom here from the 2022 USCSA National Championships. What a tremendous facility here in Whiteface Mountain. We sure love being here with everybody. It is the Alpine venue not only for the USCSA Championships, but for the 1980 Olympic Games. Ingemar Stenmark showed everybody why he was the best in the world here. Gosh, how many? 42 years ago? Is that how long it's been now? 42 years ago. I remember. I don't know if you remember. You might not remember it. You might not have been around on that day.
No, I was not.
And I was a freshman in high school that year, and that was the year that the Miracle on Ice took place, and everyone, oh my word, it was just the greatest thing that had ever happened in sports. And 42 years later, Al Michaels still on the microphone making incredible calls. Isn't that amazing? What a career that guy's had.
Absolutely. Kind of a goal for all of us budding broadcasters.
Abigail Jakunski now from Clarkson University in bib number 137 on course, making her way out of the center section into the lower third, across the transition, and now into the head wall comes Jakunski. 6 gates to go for Abigail until she hits the finish line.
You want to talk about a smarty? Aeronautical engineering major, and she wants to work for NASA when this is all over.
Smarty pants. So good. You know, I'm going to tell you something about ski racing. You got to be smart to be a ski racer.
You do.
This thing is too hard. It is too difficult to know what's going on at that kind of speed and have that kind of energy flowing through your body. You've got to be a smarty pants just to control that stuff, you know?
You got to have the athletic ability of a Michael Jordan, a Tom Brady, and you've got to have the mental capacity and photographic memory of the guy from A Beautiful Mind. You see these skiers close their eyes and picture the course, and that's not just for show. They really are memorizing the course. They know where their line is. They know where they need to be at what time. It really is a jack-of-all-trades type sport where you have to have not just one great tool, but another.
That's a great run for Abigail Jakunski from Clarkson in bib 137. She'll be back for run number 2 later on today. And now finally on course, our last racer in run number 1 in bib number 138. It is Hannah Burns from the University of Minnesota at Twin Cities. She'll be coming out of the top section now momentarily into the middle. We'll see her here on our broadcast screen. And a big field, the biggest we've ever had, no doubt. 138 ladies racing here for run number 1. But a pretty good attrition field as well. I mean, we're going to count them up here at the end. We'll give you that number. But a good 15 or 20 racers, you know, we're talking probably maybe 15% of the whole field here is out after run number 1, and that's what happens in a national championship. We try to set these courses as hard as they're going to see them all year long. That's what you get to look forward to, and that's what these ladies have had to deal with today. A good run here, some good speed being carried by Hannah Burns, and Hannah Burns now with a top 50 run from Minnesota Twin Cities. She got stuck as the last racer here, pulls the tuck and across the line in a time of 1:14.06 from way back in the back. It's Hannah Burns, as 54th fastest here in the morning sesh, as she is saluting her fans that have gathered here in the corral area. And she knows how important that is. Her sponsors require her to do that after every ski race that she participates in. But that's just joy and fun right there. Hannah Joy, Hannah Burns, our final racer here in run number 1 from the University of Minnesota at Twin Cities. That's going to do it here for run number 1. What a contest, and does it surprise us in our top 5 that we have 16 Picard, that we have Honor Clissold, that we have Brigitte Varney, that we have Michelle Murat, and that we have Hilda Sato, and all 5 of those ladies are from Sierra Nevada College or Rocky Mountain College.
Don't forget about Margaret Beardsley from Brown coming in 6th place. Man, what a fire run from Brown to come in and break up that little party between the 2 powerhouse schools. But, boss, you mentioned it, 0.04 of a second separating first and second. Hilda Sato, first national championship for her. Michelle Murat, this is her 3rd. She's a crafty veteran. This is something that she's done before, but it's going to be a fun final race.
Don't forget, coming up next, 12:30 this afternoon, it will be run number 2 for the women's giant slalom. We hope that you will join us here, and we hope that you'll join us here at 12:30 this afternoon as we'll bring you live coverage of that race. That's going to do it here for a second. On behalf of my board operator, that's Matthew Wallace, sitting right next to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my neck. Our lower cameraman, that's Tim Devlin out there. Everybody knows Timmy Devlin. Matt Iverson up high on the broadcast hill, giving us those beautiful shots as they come through the center section. That's going to do it for my broadcast partner. That is Elon Olive next to me. I'm Boss Hog. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back at 12:30 this afternoon from Whiteface Mountain here at the 2022 USCSA National Championships. I'm Boss Hog saying so long, everybody.